where we all last left off in the Curse of Strahd, you all had traveled from Barovia to the crossroads, and on the way there, you ran into a old man with an anchor for a weapon and a pistol on his hip, who was being attacked and almost eaten by two giant flab monsters, flab giants. You all rushed in, saved the day, and with his assistance, defeated these beasts, and then proceeded on to the crossroads themselves. You were met at the crossroads by two Vistani gentlemen who said that Madame Ava was expecting you and to follow them to their campsite. When you followed to the campsite, you came upon this amazing display of colored tents and a large bonfire in the center where many Vistani men and women were partying, having a good time, dancing, singing, playing music. And you all joined them in the camp. After a time, you got curious as to where this Madame Ava was and went to the back tent in the far corner of the encampment. As you all entered, Madame Ava seemed to have already known who you all were and things about your past that have not come to light since you've been in Barovia. She then offered to read all of your fortunes as far as to deal with your fate in these lands of Barovia and try and potentially find a way out. She did mention something about breaking a curse as she looked over to the person you're escorting to the town of Valaki named Irina. The group of you were offered to stay in the camp for the night, and you exited the tent as Branwen stayed behind and asked a question of Madame Ava and got a cryptic-ish response. And that is where we left our session off. I will put us back on map, and we will get some fun campfire music going.
Campfire music.
As you all exit the tent, a decent tune has kind of sprung up around the camp itself, and the Vistani seem lively enough, dancing with each other, and dancing in a circle around the fire. There's a few gentlemen and a few women kind of sitting off on wooden logs, just having a cup of wine, enjoying the party, and you all are back in the Vistani encampment. It is nightfall. And you all have been given a place to stay, kind of off in the middle of some of the tents in this encampment, should you wish to turn in and retire. But you can interact with anybody here, ask questions, talk to them, hang around the campfire, drink to your heart's content. You're welcome guests in this camp at this point.
I'm just gonna lean up against one of the carts and sort of start drinking this alcohol that I've had sitting in my hand for the last 15 minutes.
I mean, yes, you did walk into a tent with alcohol, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Which is really warm ale right about now, or warm wine.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
This dude,
Fair
it's
enough.
alcohol. He needs it at this
Fair
point.
enough.
Kelma walks up to Gaynor, and he just kind of whispers to him. He says, "Gaynor, I like this magic stuff, but I don't trust it. As you probably tell, I'm not one to trust magics too much, but this reeks of it, and I don't understand it. Do you have any idea what's going on?"
I mean, no more than you do. All I know is we have to, I guess, go find some stuff and try to get our way out of here.
I feel like we're being played as pawns, like a game.
I mean, aren't we all in the greater scheme of the world?
There you
Kelma just kind of huffs for a second and just kind of goes over to one of the things, just kind of squats down and just sits in meditation for a bit with his eyes open.
Irina's just kind of going to wander through the camp a little bit, not really taking a seat, but just kind of like admiring the different styles of clothing, and she's comfortable in this place. She doesn't feel completely threatened, so she's kind of chatting and interacting with some of the Vistani people. Is anybody else doing anything at the moment?
I mean, Ganor's gonna go get a drink. This is the dude with the alcohol.
Fair enough. Yep, that is the guy with alcohol. As you kind of walk over, he's like, "Oh, you want a drink now?" And he kind of like opens this tiny keg spigot open more or less, and kind of pours a goblet somewhat full, kind of leans it back and hands you the goblet. It's got a purplish kind of wine in it. It smells strong.
Alright. I'm just gonna head off near the tent over here and just start drinking.
Okay. And Bramwin, are you still in the tent, or you exit the tent at this point?
I've probably just about exited the tent.
Okay. Alright. And Trovik, are you doing anything, or are you just chilling around?
Just sort of spectating.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, well, I have an idea, and I don't know if I want to do it.
It's up to you. You do your ideas.
I'm gonna roll a Constitution check first before I make a stupid decision.
I'm gonna.
Oh.
Which one?
Oh. Alright.
What's your stupid decision?
I'm gonna look over at one of the various Vistani dancing around the campfire, and I'm gonna sort of. He's gonna hear in the back of his head. I'm gonna use my telepathy. He's gonna hear. The horses are hungry. Feed us. In just a completely different tone of voice. And he's just gonna watch and wait for reaction.
What the fuck?
You see,
He's
one
a
of
little
the men
bit tipsy at
who's-
this point.
Yeah, you see one of the men who's about equally as tipsy, just kind of like almost stopping in his tracks, dancing, and just like, what? He kind of taps another guy on the shoulder. He's like, "Did you hear that? What the hell are you talking about? No, you're too drunk. The horses, they were talking to me. You need to stop drinking. You need to sit down, put down the ale, sit by the fire, sober up a little bit. But no, the horses said they were hungry, and I don't know why." As this kind of confusion's happening between these two right here, it's just that he eventually goes and like sits down in the corner, eating
I'm
advice.
just chuckling inside of my mug, like I've sort of got it up to my eyes so nobody can really notice, but
Fair enough. Branwyn, about the time you exit the tent, one of the Vistani that's kind of... The music begins to stop a little bit as the musician has gotten to the end of their song. And as the quiet kind of comes around the campfire for a moment, people kind of clap, cheer a little bit, and then one of the older Vistani kind of steps up and addresses the party. This gentleman right here kind of looks over to you all and is like, "Well, you are strangers in our camp, and we're happy to accept anyone who comes in, as long as they're not hostile or violent or dirty thieves. Would you care to hear a tale? A tale of this land?" And the
Aye,
other
let's
Vistani,
hear it.
okay. Some of the other Vistani are like, "Oh, you're gonna tell that one again? Okay." And just like they've heard it a couple times, but they're grumbling a little bit, but they're happy to oblige to it. Come, sit around the campfire. Makes for a better story. And as he's kind of going to step over to here in the center, they parse out spaces for you guys to kind of fit into the circle if you wish,
right,
wherever you want to, around the campfire in general. As this gentleman begins to like crack his neck back and forth, cracks his fingers, sits back, and he's kind of ready to tell a tale. He's telling it for you guys, so he begins to look in your direction.
No.
And he kind of pulls a little bit of powder out of a sack on his hip and casts it over the fire. He begins the tale. A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. And in the fire, the visage of a bald wizard in a long robe and cloak kind of appears in the flames. And he kind of points over to you guys. He stood exactly where you are standing. He was a very charismatic man. He thought he could rally all the peons and people of Barovia against the devil himself up on the hill. And he kind of points off in the distance, generally to where the castle is. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt, and he bore them all to the castle en masse. And you see in the flames just like an army of peasants, adventurers, with the wizard at the head, just kind of like snaking through the fire itself. When they finally got to the castle, the vampire appeared, and the peasant army began to scatter and flee in terror from the creatures of the night. A few of them stood their ground, but those fools were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Thunder crashed from the hillside. Their battle flew from the courtyards of the Castle Ravenloft, and you see as the flames kind of like swirl and flow, you see the wizard and you see a visage of Strahd just like thunderbolt, fireball, and then they both begin to fly off of the castle grounds itself, and it just like dives off the cliff more or less in this flame visage. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls, and he kind of points just off in the distance to this side of here. Boom. I don't know if y'all can see that. Up this way, in this direction. Precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside. Great rocks tumbled down into the water and landed upon the wizard, and somehow by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. And all of these images are playing in the fire. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic could not save him. I saw his body thrown from 1,000 feet down to his death. He kind of looks around at the other Vistani. He's like, and of course you all know I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body to see if, he had anything valuable on him. But the river Iblis had already spirited him away. And that is why nobody messes with the devil Strahd. And the camp's kind of quiet. A couple people kind of clap, but it's not a happy tale. It's kind of a grim warning to anybody who might think about assaulting the castle. It's
just kind of half nods. I've
and
heard
then the
similar
fire
stories.
goes back down.
Kelma just kind of gets
Have
up.
you?
He walks over to like one of the little corners by the horses, and he just kind of grumbles to himself, saying that he believes the horses have more guts than these people.
Oh God!
Fair
Do I
enough.
want to do the thing?
I mean, y'all can do whatever you want.
So the guy who just wandered over the horses, he would hear in his head, "We do indeed. Vistani had got nothing on us."
You hear this, Kelma.
Kelma pulls out his quarterstaff and slams it on the ground with a grumble, and he just under his breath, he just kind of goes, he's like, "I don't like tricks." That's all he says.
Oh, Christ.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are
These days.
ridiculous. Another musical instrument begins to be played, and the campfire resumes back to its normal size as the Vistani are still around the fire and drinking and hanging out, but the dancing has stopped. After a few more moments, one of the female Vistani kind of walks up to the group, and it's not much, but we've prepared a place for you over behind the wagons in between the tents, and she kind of motions to this area here. I think y'all should be able to see that. Yeah, she motions over here and says, if you'd like to turn in, you're more than welcome to set up and make camp at any time. Who's my highest passive perception?
Probably me.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably one.
You would think the
Yeah.
rogue.
What's it, 13?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brandon, make a perception check for me.
Cool. Yeah, that's the wrong tab. That's the right tab. Do, and then press the thing, and then do the thing. Oh, come on!
At least you're getting them out of the way early. Okay. So, as the Vistani kind of turns around and walks away from you all, motioning to the area where y'all can set up whenever you're ready to go to sleep. What are you guys doing?
Osgood looks uncomfortable.
I am going to come over to him.
Oh?
That's a very strange weapon you have there. Did you make it yourself?
He pulls out the revolver and sort of looks at it and sort of hefts it. It's black powder. The place where I come from, this is the norm. Magic is less powerful compared to technology. It's caught up almost, if not better. The only thing that really is going for us is spelljamming and space travel. These are our main ways of fighting, and he sort of passes the revolver over to you.
Oh, I'm definitely inspecting that.
So
Yeah, I was about to say make an investigation check, Nim.
Yeah.
As you're looking over this
Oh.
rifle.
Oh yeah.
Or pistol, sorry. Pistol, not rifle.
Investigation.
A rogue is about to become a gun wielder. Oh shit!
oh shit. Okay, yeah.
You glean a pretty decent concept of the contraption in your hand. I'll let you describe
So
more or less parts of it, but it's not in that 20, so.
So the revolver in question, it's seen some use. 40 odd years of being in Barovia has taken its toll on the weapon. Originally, it might have been pristine quality steel. It would have had brass fittings. There would have been originally some kind of contraption underneath the barrel, which has since worn away and like been taken apart. You can see the mounting brackets still there. The handle is a cracked, thickened leather that is now sort of starting to break apart in places. It seems like he's rewrapped leather in places and reattached it. The butt of the gun in particular is what's probably interesting. It's carved into the image, the vestige of a ship, a two-masted schooner with guns firing. So you see like trailing bullets off to the right-hand side of the butt of the gun. The barrel is engraved a little bit, but it seems like years have worn that down, and anything that was originally depicted there long since gone. It is a 6-shot revolver, and there would be effectively a couple of pins in the back of it as it circles around, which you wouldn't really know what those do, but you get the feeling it might be what makes it shoot.
Very interesting. I'm gonna sort of just curiously sort of look down what, as a player I know is the barrel, just at the grass, just cool, and then hand it back.
I take it and I sort of sheathe it quietly.
I don't believe the rest of us actually formally introduced ourselves.
It was kind of a runaway situation.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Well, the friend behind us is Kelmar.
Right.
Big guy is Trovic. He's some sort of war general.
The Minotaur, yes?
Yes.
I've seen them on my ships. I haven't seen one in Barovia in many years. Nods casually, almost like an up tilt to the head.
Spellcaster friend is Kano, and you can call me Gwen.
Gwen. Is short for anything, or is that your full name?
I give a chuckle.
He just raises an eyebrow as if, like, this is a completely normal question. He's like, all right, keep your secrets. And he just shakes his head, sits back down.
Saying that to someone that wears a mask.
And
That
in
makes
this entire time, she hasn't taken off the masquerade mask that she wears.
sense. He'd be interested, but he wouldn't want to pry, I think.
Mhm.
You'd see him glance at it every so often, but wouldn't really do anything otherwise.
Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
He would sort of say, in that case, they call me Osgood Nemo Wayburn. I am a sailor from Alva that is lost here as of about 40 years ago. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You see her think for a moment. Then she's gonna dip her head and Branwyn Winter. It's nice to meet you.
Indeed.
Am I hearing any of this? Since I'm like by the horses.
I would say they probably aren't trying to hide their conversation at this point. They're just having a conversation.
Yeah, no, it's a normal conversation.
Oh my lord! Now it's raining cats and dogs. Okay.
In Barovia? Oh my god!
I knew it was not raining in
Strahd is throwing puppies at us.
I knew he was evil.
And they're all undead.
Oh jeez.
Oh no! Hellhounds.
Oh my goodness.
Good lord.
Undead puppies.
Anyway. But yeah, so you would hear pretty much all of this conversation, Kelma.
Gotcha.
Sorry. It's just it started blasting my window and distracted me as the DM with headphones on. Anyway. Yeah, the music's kind of tapered off at this point. Some of the Vistani seem to be entering tents and going into tents. One or two are still around the campfire, and Irina kind of goes to where y'all have been allowed to set up and begins to kind of just lay out a bedroll, pull out some stuff from her pack, and begin to set up for an evening's rest. You guys want to do anything else before you turn in?
I probably won't sleep. I'll probably head towards the campsite, but I'll probably stick towards the road looking out.
And that thing, Chiam, I have a thing for that too, so I got you covered. Don't worry about that.
Yep, you know what's going on.
Can I look around the campsite more, like investigate some areas, or?
Sure. What are you trying to investigate?
Just want to kind of make sure that everything's normal. There's nothing weird going on.
Okay. Make a general investigation check for me. I'll say that.
Where is it?
I mean, without prying into anybody's tents or
Okay, well, I see fucking nothing.
Just start pulling things apart.
As far as you see, it's just a bunch of normal people, a bunch of barrel-topped wagons. The wagons have curtains drawn, so it's really hard to see inside of them. The tents, most curtain flaps are drawn. If you have light coming from inside, some lights have been extinguished at this point. Yeah, no, I mean, that's all you get for the most part.
Yeah, that was worthless. Okay, cool.
Is anybody? So you all are now resting or setting up to rest. Is anybody staying up and keeping watch?
I'll stay up for the first shift to keep watch.
I would probably take second watch.
Okay. Does anybody want third watch, or are we cutting that one to the side?
Guess
Rock,
not.
paper, scissors, draw straws. Nobody watching.
Nobody? Nobody?
I could take third watch.
I forgot I was muted.
You're all done.
I mean, if you would like to volunteer,
Nope.
gain more kind of
He's
stuff. for the
volunteered,
game.
it's fine.
Okay. All right. So, as you all kind of settle in for the night, a little bit of a musical jingle is still playing from the far side of the campfire, and there are a few Vistani that have stayed around the campfire to keep watch over their camp. You see the lights dim in Madame Ava's tent from across the way, and you all kind of set up shop to go to a not so comfortable because you're on the ground, but you are surrounded by life and people, and it's a better sleep than you've gotten just generally out in the wilderness because the ground is flat and precautions are taken. And it hasn't really been raining for the last few hours or so, so it's kind of gotten dry. Kelma, you said first? I
Yeah.
need an investigation check from you, my friend.
Investigation? Okay.
Or perception, I'm sorry.
Perception?
It's
Okay.
been a long day. Yes, perception check. Thank you, sir.
Sure. I think this has been a consistent theme of Kelma. Anytime I try to perceive anything, I can't.
Mhm.
Impressive.
So, your watch. The 3 or 4
Gaynor and
hours that
Kelma are
you
the
go on
Sherlock Holmes and Watson of the group.
Super geniuses right there. All in at once.
Incredible.
Your watch, you begin to kind of nod off during some parts of your watch. The 2 or 3 hours, you can't really tell how long it's been, kind of go by as you drift off and then like pop back up. In the distance, in this direction, I don't know if you can see that direction. Over in this direction, do you see the ping?
Yep, I just saw the ping.
Cool. Okay. So off in that direction, a far distance off, and about a decent way up skyward from your current vantage, you see a pale green kind of glow just about close to midnight. Probably about, yeah, I'd say midnight-ish. And you can just see it off in a distance. You can't make out what it is. You don't really understand what it is. But you do see, like, cutting through the darkness is just like a pale green light that seems to consist up about 1,000 feet or so up and probably about half a mile off. And you can't really make anything out. It is a little bit foggy in the night, but you see a green glow. And towards the end of your watch, it kind of disappears from sight. As you kind of nod back to consciousness just long enough to be like, oh, I need to switch with somebody and get some sleep.
Who's the next one?
That'd be me.
The next watch is going to be Osgood.
Okay. I walk
First
up.
things first.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you can wake him up if you want. Go for it.
Okay. I just walk up to Osgood and per my normal fashion, I just kick him awake.
He jolts awake, wide-eyed, and immediately grabs a dagger at his side, and then sort of pauses as he sees it's you, and slowly releases his grip. He's like, "Second watch."
Yes.
All right.
Right.
And then I point to the sky. I point to the sky and go, "I saw green things. Be on watch." and I go to lay down.
So sophisticated. I love
You
Kelman.
sure that those things aren't just dragonflies? And he slowly gets up onto one knee and sort of sits cross-legged. Kelma, can you make me like a perception check? Out of curiosity, just to see if you can catch what he says. As he settles in. That is +2, 12. You would sort of barely catch the tail end of it, but he would say, "You and me again, old friend." Just sort of slowly sits down.
Kelma just kind of huffs and just like, and he's exasperated by everything, so he's just.
So, as Kelma kind of settles down to go to sleep, I need Trovik
Perfect.
to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh,
no.
Hmm.
What does that mean? I'm a little worried.
You should be. You should be.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
That's a 5.
Okay. So,
Fuck.
as you kind of take your watch over Osgood and Kelma, you begin to lay down and try and go to sleep.
Mhm.
You notice that Trovik seems to be fidgeting and almost shaking in his sleep, rolling back and forth, a little bit restless.
Are you quite all right, mate?
Uh,
So to say.
you do not hear this response from Osgood at all, Trovik.
Mm.
Trovik, the entire night you are wrestling with nightmarish visions.
Oh.
It's different points and parts of like scenes of being in a tavern or walking down a road. It's just generic kind of scenes and settings, like walking down the Svalich road that you've done for the past couple of days, or entering the tavern in the city of Barovia. In each of these visions that kind of come and go and pass, you feel cold, like there's almost chills running down your skin. You have a feeling of like something's watching you or somebody's watching you, and every time you look over your shoulder, you don't see anything. And every time you look at the chair where you feel like something's got eyes on you from, there's nothing there. This persists and continues, and you can't wake up from these nightmares. It's just constantly harrowing you. And in one of the nightmares, you have kind of walked into a building, walked up a set of stairs, looked into the main chamber of this room that you've kind of walked into, and you look around, there's nobody in this room. And as you turn around and kind of walk out of the room, you get chills down your spine once again. You look over your shoulder in this dreamlike state, and you see behind you, sitting in the chair, is a small doll. And then as you kind of turn around and look back at it again, it's gone.
God fucking damn it.
Okay. Osgood, I need you to
Yep.
make me a perception check followed by a constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Jeez.
Okay, that's an 8. And oh
So-
boy, that's a con save.
Con save.
Oh, fuck
Okay.
me. That's not good.
So, as you're looking around the campsite, some of the Vistani
Fuck.
switch shifts.
Mhm.
Along with you guys switching shifts. You see Trovik is tossing and turning, but you've called out to him multiple times and can't get any response.
Yeah.
As you're just kind of looking around, you were looking out for the green thing that Kelma kind of mentioned off in the distance. You don't see anything. And then you kind of look up into the sky as you're kind of leaning your head back,
Yeah.
looking up into the sky. And the clouds have parted just slightly, and you see off in the distance a very, very blood red star. Upon seeing this star, you almost
Okay.
stand up almost instinctually and begin wandering almost trance-like
Yep.
off the
Yep.
campsite and into the forest.
Mhm.
And I will now move you because you're trancy, and you kind of walk through the trees and off into the forest in this direction.
Yep. Yep.
I would say nobody's passive perception is high enough to notice he's gone.
Mhm.
So I would normally do this in a side chat, but I don't care. I'm going to tell everybody this because it's better for narration.
Yep.
You wander into the forest and you're stumbling through trees and over roots. You wander for about 20 minutes or so, and then you just stop. It's not
Yeah.
really a clearing, but the sky and the canopy has opened up a little bit. You stop in your tracks, and you drop to your knees, and you kind of look up at the blood red star.
Yep.
Nobody's around to see you, but the image that if there was an overhead camera or something would see is your eyes have gone completely white. The irises have disappeared completely.
Mm.
Your vision leaves you as you drop to your knees, and
Yep.
all you can see is blackness. You're still in a
Yep.
trance, and you can't feel your body. The
Okay.
next image that you see in a short time of being in this darkness, you see small dots of light, as small as stars in the distance. You are no longer in the forest. You almost seem suspended in midair in this blackness with these tiny flecks of burning light.
Hmm.
Suddenly, your body is turned 180 degrees, and you see these little blips of light kind of blur by as if like being twisted away from tiny globules of light off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you see is a massive object in front of you. It's gigantic. Like you're floating in space, looking down on what appears to be a planet-sized something. It might be a planet, might be a star. You're not quite sure. You know from your realm and your travels that you've seen planets and planet-sized things before from being out in space, at least at some point. You wonder to
What
yourself,
the fuck do you want from me? He sort of cries out, looking at this thing.
okay, you cry out, and you notice in the center of this planet-sized entity of sorts,
Yeah.
a giant crater that crosses the entire surface of the planet. As
Yeah.
you're looking out to it and you scream out, the
Yeah.
crater opens, and you see a giant pale purple eye on the center of this planet. Around the eye, in smaller craters on the other parts of the surface of the planet, many more tinier craters open and more eyes are seen. Some of the irises are yellow, some are gold, some are green. The main eye that you were looking into is purple. As you struggle to figure out what the hell you're looking at, a voice pierces your mind. It says, "Wanderer, I have been watching you. I am always watching, always waiting. I have seen you throw yourself into darkness. I have seen the lengths you would go to in order to repent. I may be able to bring an end to your suffering."
Then do it already. Just kill me. Fuck. Just be done with it.
Death is not the release you seek.
Then what? What do you suggest?
What if you could fix your mistake? Would you accept the power to do so? And you hear a cackling chuckle in your head. It's just like a deep Jabba the Hutt style laugh as you're pondering the answer that you're going to give.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's much left for me. I don't think there's a way back out of this.
My gifts are many. My only request is that you serve me.
He quiets for a moment. Let me think about this. Please. You will have your answer, but I need a time to...
I have been waiting here for centuries. I can continue to wait. The choice, of course, is yours.
Aye.
But I may be able to help you bring back what is lost.
He looks exceedingly uncomfortable, but sort of half nods.
While you're nodding, thinking, pondering, you get dragged out of this vision and you return. Your consciousness comes back to you and you're kneeling in the forest of Barovia. Visibly shaken, cold,
Yeah.
clammy, and sweating.
Yep, he'll make his way back to the campsite.
As you're walking back to the campsite, remember my offer.
He nods. Always.
And you continue back to the campsite. Make a survival check for me to find your way
Fuck,
back.
God. Oh, no. Oh, shite. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. You stumble back. After about 10 minutes or so of wandering, you can kind of see the flames from the campfire still protruding out from the encampment itself. And you kind of make your way back out of the woods and back to the group. And I assume back to where you were kind of keeping watch.
Yep.
Is there anything you would like to do before you finish your watch?
Oh, he doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's just going back to bed. He's like, nope, not dealing with it anymore.
Okay. So, who was my third watch? It was Gaynor. So, Gaynor, you wake up kind of your own accord. And you see that Osgood has gone back to sleep. Nobody was keeping watch for the last 30 minutes or so of his watch, but you don't know that. And you kind of rouse from your sleep, and if you would, make a perception check for me to take the third watch. Well, this just got fun.
This is going to be good. Oh.
I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just asking for. I didn't know you stepped away. I'm sorry. So Osgood just came back to the campsite and went straight to sleep. He didn't wake anybody or nothing. So you kind of wake up of your own accord and look around the campsite and make a perception check for me.
Gotcha.
So you can do your watch.
15.
As the morning begins to come after a few hours of you being on watch, you hear some of the people in the camp kind of begin packing their stuff and getting ready for anything that they have to do in the day. Your watch goes by pretty peacefully. There's some rustling in the forest and things like that, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that seems to stir the other Vistani who are on watch as well. The morning continues to pass, and then as the sun begins to come over the hill behind the clouds once again, and light begins to crest over the valley, it is daytime. I will do the daytime thing because I'm daytimey. Boom. And
What's daytime?
that's daytime.
I haven't heard about daytime before. What is this thing you speak of?
The not nighttime.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
That thing. Where it's light outside and not dark outside. That whole
Incredible.
That's a great
rumor.
concept.
That's a rumor.
It is a rumor in Barovia. And your watch goes by more or less unfazed as you all kind of waking up on this cold dirt, and you've gotten your long rest. Some of you a less comfortable long rest than others, and some of you a little bit haunted by things that have happened, but you're all up and pretty well.
All right. I guess I'll play towards my character trait of I have many rituals. So I'm just going to go down to the water, strip completely naked, and dive under for a few minutes. Completely ignore everyone.
Fair enough. If you're doing that, is anybody else doing anything at the moment in the morning?
I'm just standing up.
Rena kind of comes to consciousness and gets out of her bunk.
I'm just standing up and doing my normal morning like stretches and exercises.
Okay.
Is there food?
You smell some semblance of food being cooked over the fire. It seems like the Vistani have made breakfast. It's not much. It's caught game from the local area and stuff like that, but it is food. For the
Trevor
purposes
goes
of
right
food,
there.
it's passable.
Give me a few minutes.
Straight to food for the Minotaur. Fair enough. I need you to make a perception check for me, Chi. Or, yeah. Actually, make a survival check for me. That's way more fun. Oh my god, that thunder is loud. My pool's gonna get struck by lightning again. This is gonna be a blast.
Sweet.
Yeah, make a survival check for me, Chi.
I think he said he'd be right back.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, we'll leave Chi in the water for now. Trovic, you kind of go over and you see there's almost like on a barbecue pit skewer type thing is a number of flanks of wolf steak and a couple skewered rabbit-like creatures. They have slight wings. Well, I would say they probably ripped the bones off, but they look very familiar, except they're skinned and being cooked. But as it all gets cooked, it is all completely edible, and the Vistani begin to take portions and kind of pass them out among the camp. A few Vistani are also washing off in the water, and the horses, somebody is going over and feeding them. The same guy that was kind of drunkenly complaining about the horses talking to him has now gone over and is like petting all the horses very vigorously and feeding them and making sure that they are completely full and satisfied.
I'm gonna use telepathy in his head and say, "Thank you very much."
I'm gonna give this guy
Before all
trauma.
that, Chi, I needed you to make a constitution or survival check while you were in the water.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess I'm not getting out.
Yeah,
I'll make the check. Sure.
I mean, retroactively, then you can get out, but make the check first.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Yeah. So as you're in the water for a few moments and under the water, and just kind of doing your rituals and things, you notice a few green disc-shaped things kind of skirt on by you. They don't seem to bite or attack you in any way, but there's a school of about 3 or 4, and they're probably about frisbee-sized discs.
I don't
One
know
of them
what
might
these
even
are.
have wings off of the back of it, but they seem to be tucked in and streamlined for swimming.
I don't know what these are, so I can't really do anything. But I look panicked, and that would probably be what gets me out of the water.
Yep. I would
Like,
assume so.
oh shit.
And then you get out, dry off, and then I would say retroactively you could answer for the horse. But yeah, some of the Vistani have come out of the camp now and are basically doing. The guy who was very concerned is now over here dealing with the horses. And you all kind of eat. One of the Vistani kind of asks, so where are you guys off to? Obviously, you've met the great Madame Ava. You must have a destination you were going before we found you. Kind of looks around at the group as a whole.
Osgood sort of shrugs. I was sent by the Church of St. Andrews to find you. I'm not entirely sure why.
You were probably sent to find Ava. Did she answer any questions for you, or did she leave you with more questions than answers? He kind of chuckles and
The
laughs.
second.
Well, she's wise, but she's not always a straight shooter.
Oh, we were off to Vallaki.
Well, it's a good 2 or 3 day travel from here. We don't go down that way anymore, but more power to you.
Why don't you go down that way anymore?
People of Vallaki don't really like us.
What'd you do down there?
Other than be ourselves, you'll find out once you get there. The people of Valaki are a little bit strange. And somebody else is like, "Oh yeah, I'll say," and do all this foolish stuff and think that they can stay away from the problems of Barovia. Think that we're bad omens or something. They said.
Trust me, you're one of the least dangerous people I've encountered on my travels.
That's mighty kind of you to say. Would you like some wine? And he kind of like pulls out the keg. It's the
Yeah.
same guy who's like, he's got
He
a
looks
wagon
back at
full
it,
of
he's like-
kegs. He does not play around.
That's the that's
For Christ's sake, how much do you have?
You found the camp alcoholic.
Andre,
I look
it's
at
a
him-
little early to be drinking, don't you think? It's never too early for the grape mash.
He smiles, like half chuckle. He's like, I'll pass for now.
Fair enough. And he kind of takes the keg and puts it back on the wagon that's behind him.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The same guy who pours all the alcohol is the guy who supplies all the alcohol.
That's his thing.
That's
Seems about right
his
for him.
role in the camp, is to make sure everybody's well topped off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Story style, I guess.
You guys kind of eat, and they also have water, of course. Like, it's boiled from the river. It's purified for the most part. Drinkable.
Kalma
Not the
kind of
best
wanders
wine.
off the camp to the dirt road, and he just wants to kind of do a kind of look around to kind of gather his surroundings, since it's the first time we've been here since daytime. It's nighttime.
Okay. So as you look off, from a similar direction to what you saw the green light the night prior, you see what appears to be a large cliff that kind of goes up from the ground into the sky and through into the mist. You can't really see much more past that. You do see that the river continues kind of going on and then kind of fleshes out into a small, I say small from a distance, kind of like pool of water. And you can almost see in the distance, it's clear enough, there's not really any fog. You can almost see over the trees what appears to be like some sort of a waterfall, probably about half a mile off, something like that. This is like an inspection of the things in that direction. From the other direction, you look back and you can see a small cut of road that goes through the trees that y'all came from the first time, that leads back towards the crossroads and to the signpost and to the other route that kind of winds up the mountain. The forest itself here doesn't look to be as encroaching as in some of the other parts of Barovia that you've seen. The trees kind of seem to be staying away from, like, they're not looming over this camp or leaning over this area, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
this is an open area for the most part. And up towards Madame Ava's tent, you see the river. It's probably about 10, maybe 15 feet deep in some places, and it's probably about 20 feet wide or so. And it's running pretty quickly towards the direction of Barovia and the direction y'all came from to the east.
Okay.
I mean, you can just get that just by general looking around. If you want to make a survival check or something like that, you can get more in depth of the region. But it's a clear day. You pretty much got the general.
Yeah, that's all I just
fine.
wanted to kind of scope out the surroundings, since we're here in daytime finally, since we're probably gonna be
Yeah.
heading out soon.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, never mind. Come on, walked away. You walking back?
Well, I mean, I could stay right here. That's no big deal.
Oh, okay. So I guess I look at the rest of the group then, and kind of be like, so are we continuing on to Valakim, or are we gonna discuss more what we were told last night?
I raised an eyebrow.
Well, we were given different paths last night.
I think that we should look for that wizard. Personally.
And aren't you familiar with one of the other locations as well?
I know of a few towers in the area, but
No.
oh,
Oh my. Sorry. Let me grab my notes.
he raises an eyebrow. He's like, "You'll have to be a little bit more clear."
Just looking through
Stare.
pages. Saint Markovia's. You said you know it.
I have been in the um care of the church for a number of years. Yes,
So isn't that a possible destination for us?
could be. They might be able to help. They don't have much.
We're looking for a woman there.
You are who?
Madame Eva last night said there was a Vistana wanderer in St. Markovia that we should probably find.
Ah, can I make a history check? Maybe see if I remember anything about this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remembering the stuff that you all were told last night, I'll do a
No.
refresher over that so you know. Yeah, you would have no knowledge of any Vistana that might be there or might not be there. And
Sure.
of course, your readings from the night before were the beggar card, the wizard card, the glyphs card, and all that stuff. There was a treasure hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. There was a Vistana that wanders the land alone, searching for a mentor. She does not stay in one place for long. You can seek her out at St. Markovia's Abbey near the Mist. There was a mention of a wounded elf that has what you seek. He may part with his treasure to see his dark dream fulfilled. And another one that said, look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to that which you seek. And the last one was something about marionette and somebody being cursed or controlled, and then that you need to look to great heights and a secret is kept close to the devil's chest. Just for a reminder, because I don't know if everybody's taking notes proper, so I'll be nice. I'll be nice to you.
All of this goes in one ear and out the other.
Fair enough.
Mostly so I can keep up the meme of asking people what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, how does Irina feel about all this? We're not going to block.
She's still confident that Ismark's plan is probably the right one, and she's still trying to go to Vallaki. She understands that y'all have been given different fates, but she's kind of uneasy about Madame Eva just kind of glaring at her. And when Madame Eva mentioned the curse of Strahd and glared at her again, she's conflicted. She would tell you all that Vallaki is beyond the walls of the land of Barovia, if that makes sense. Like, and it's a very vague description, but she's basically, there's a low wall around Barovia as a region, I guess, and Vallaki would be slightly beyond that, and is probably, according to her and Ismark's knowledge, out of the view of Strahd.
It's safe-ish, out of character.
Safe-ish is, and Osgood, knowing that Vallaki and having been there, he would know that Vallaki and the people in it believe they are safe-ish. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I say to the group, I think we have responsibility to finish our first task, and then think about secondary tasks for ourselves.
Of course, I was just saying we do have options.
Mm.
And Irina is going to pipe up that the only thing Ismark has told, she's going to say, the only thing that Ismark has told me is that, you know, we follow the path, we continue following the signs, and eventually we'll reach Vallaki. He didn't have a map on him. He didn't seem to know exactly where he was going, but he had been told to follow the signs, follow the path, and eventually we'll arrive.
Hmm.
He's no
You
longer
hear
with us,
come
so-
on in the distance, just yell out, "What are we doing?"
Talking.
Oh my
I'm just gonna
gosh.
kind of motion him over, like, hi.
He just kind of wanders over, and he looks at Gwen, and he's just like I said last night, I'm not one for plans, I'm one for action. So what's the action?
Yes, but we need a direction.
Don't we have
Speak-
one? And he points a stick at Ariana.
Wait. Have him roll a dice and see if he's pointing in the right direction.
Please roll me a
I
367
would
dice.
say roll a survival check to see if you know which direction you're pointing.
Well, I was pointing to her, of the Ariana. But
Irina.
Irina.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean if you're pointing to Irina, then that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I was pointing. I was pointing to Irina. I was like, that's
I guess.
it's like we have a direction. Her.
Fair enough.
And I'm gonna say, well, fair enough. We like I say to the others, we were given options last night. We wanted to discuss which one.
I would recommend that we at least deliver this kind woman to her destination, and then we discuss what to do from there. I know Wallachia, it's not perfect, but there is a bit more safety there than within the walls.
Then it would seem we have our destination.
Aye.
Fair enough. And as the camp Vistani kind of shuffle around the camp, and a few wagons seem to go off, saying they're headed more in the direction of Barovia and the road that you all came from. They kind of pack up some of their tents. Some of them go off to do hunting and things like that. There's only a few people left around the campfire as you all kind of prepare yourselves to move onward.
Can I go up to one of them that looks like kind of nice?
I'd say make a perception check to find out who looks kind of nice. But yes, you can.
The
go.
drunk
You know
guy.
what I mean? Just sort of approachable.
I mean, sure. I'll say yeah. Go for it. What do you do?
You said roll a perception check to find the person.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Like,
Someone
if
that
you're
looks-
looking for a charming person, you could find one. Yes, it's a guy who's
Sure.
standing beside the guy with the ale problem.
No, I thought it was the guy Bale problem.
No, I mean he's cheery, but he's not. You probably wouldn't go to the drunk guy for knowledge. You would probably go to somebody else.
Man.
Excuse me, good sir. My party and I are heading out, and it has occurred to me that none of us particularly know these lands too well. You wouldn't happen to have a spare map, would you?
I don't have a spare anything, dear, but we do have a couple maps. I might be able to make an exchange with you.
What sort of exchange?
We deal in gold, we deal in wine, and we deal in favors. Any of the three. We've got enough wine. And he kind of looks over to his shoulder. He's like, if he doesn't keep drinking it, we have enough wine.
I giggle.
If you could offer us a favor or a service, or if you could part with a little bit of gold, perhaps.
How much gold were you thinking?
How much gold do you have? He kind of chuckles to himself. No, in all honesty, about 10 gold pieces, and I can give you a pretty detailed map of the region.
Ooh.
Nah, she's just gonna fish in her pouch and hand him 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
She's not even gonna try and haggle.
Okay. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Good for you. He's like, okay, give me a second. He kind of takes the 10 gold, takes a piece of takes one of the coins, kind of bites down on it. He's like, oh, fair enough. Kind of pockets the 10 pieces, shuffles off into a tent off to the side over here. After a few moments, he kind of returns with a rolled up browning piece of rolled parchment. It's probably about maybe a foot long or so, maybe a little less. It's rolled up and scrolled up, but as you open it up and look at it, you have, I will share this with everybody, but since you were the one who asked for it, you get editing privileges. Oh no, my entire Roll20 is borked.
Oh no.
No,
Oh,
don't bork on me.
Doomed.
Don't do that to me.
Strahd strikes again.
Um,
I blame the puppies.
so
It's all Strahd's fault.
you all get and you can zoom in on it from the picture. You get a semi-detailed map of Barovia. And he kind of points out to you that where you're at right now is, and he kind of points on the map to the location that reads Serpool. This is definitely a Vistani travel map of trade and like general routes that they'd like to take and stuff like that. But nonetheless, it's a map. And I'm gonna put it in everybody's journals just for stuff. Boom. There you go. So now you have a reference point map, more or less.
Whereabouts?
What do?
Whereabouts? Which tab?
It's in the journal, in the handouts.
Yeah, it should be. I
Under
just gave it to
handouts,
everybody. It should
okay.
be journal handouts.
Player handouts?
Custom material handouts.
Yeah, sorry, custom material.
Okay, found it.
Map of Barovia, old.
Yep, found it.
But yes. And give me 1 second. I need to reload to get these extra things off my page. So, but you do get the map, and you kind of unfurl it, Brandon, and kind of look over it. He points out to you where you all, like the "you are here" kind of marker, and you kind of roll the map back up and return to the party.
I'm gonna give him my brightest, charming smile before I go.
And as you kind of walk away, you hear him kind of nudge the drunk guy with all the wine. He's like, "Hey, she was a cute one, huh? Did she actually smiled at me?" You can kind of overhear this as you're
What
walking
fucking
away.
charm?
And I'm just like trying not to laugh.
Okay, that's fair. I got you.
Poor bastard, shot down before he even reached him.
Oh wow. Chi, you got a bad echo coming through.
Oh.
Maybe it's on my end.
I think it's on your end because he's coming fine with me.
Yeah.
How is it on my end?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Oh my gosh. It's because it's coming through the game double time on me. Hold on.
Broom just attacked my window.
Oh no. I think I fixed it. Oh wow. No, now what did it do?
Oh no.
What just happened?
no.
Pancake. Oh.
What are you doing?
Okay, everything's back.
Did everyone's Roll20 just refresh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I messed with settings, so.
Okay.
I just turned off video and audio for everybody. That way I don't have Chi on double echo for some reason.
Okay.
Oh shoot! Was my microphone on in the?
It was picking up through the game and through
Right.
Discord, but it only did it after I refreshed, which was weird. So I'm assuming it was my tech issues. So I'm not worried about it. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, everybody can hear each other. Everybody's good to go.
Yep.
Everybody can
I
see.
don't see she on
Probably.
Roll20.
Now I am.
Did it have to kick you out and redo the entire thing, Chi? Or?
I'm gonna need to refresh.
Oh no! Well, I just messed everything up. I apologize.
No, I think my internet just broke slightly.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Should be fine. One browser seems to be lagging.
Oh no. Well, if it's because of what I did, I'll feel real bad.
That's not a problem.
And Kelmo's just wandering around camp.
Let's take a couple
Antsy.
minutes here just because Wicked had to step
Yeah.
away and we can figure
Yeah.
out your problem real quick.
Yep, I was
so
gonna
like
say
a
break.
3-minute break. Yeah, not a huge long
Yeah.
one because we still got a lot of ground to cover.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a drink then.
Well, in
Yep.
that case,
I'll
we'll
do
get
the
a
same.
drink. I'll talk to chat real quick,
Yeah.
and
Sick.
Oh,
just
cheese back. Okay, cool. So yeah.
I'm just gonna mute
We're still
myself so I
waiting
can
for
talk to chat, and just ping me when you guys are ready.
Yeah, just take like
Yep.
3 minutes or so.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hold on. How's it going, everybody? I hope you guys have been enjoying the stream so far as we kind of fix some technical issues that has been going on. Oops, I think I'm still here. All right, cool. So hopefully we'll fix those technical issues and we get back into the game. Yeah, hello again. What's up, Phantom? I appreciate everyone who's been following. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. One thing I will let you guys know is that I'm beginning to start a brand new YouTube channel dedicated to my adventures of learning D&D, Pathfinder, and the rest of these amazing tabletop games that are out there. Your favorite characters unsuccessful. Damn, these rolls, man. These rolls are killing this. I swear. Like it's funny. What's funny is that we roll better in combat than in like regular like RP sessions, but it still sucks because but we set ourselves up for danger in these RPG sessions. But yeah, guys, I'm starting a brand new channel on YouTube, and it's still in the early stages. Nothing's set up yet. No videos are made yet, but I'm taking the archives of these sessions, putting it on there. I'm gonna be talking about my journey of learning how to learning D&D and learning how to become a DM one day and then evolve from DM to GM. I'm even in the process of trying to figure out a good name for the channel. So yeah, here's the cast list again, but we'll be back in just like 1 second. So I really appreciate those who've been coming on out and enjoying this so far, whatever this ends up 30 to 2. What about you guys? Do you guys enjoy watching sessions that are more RP focused? Do you guys enjoy watching sessions that are more action focused? You know, what is your flavor of D&D? I personally like I think I like the action scenes more than some of the RP stuff, but I like some of the RP stuff when something's kind of interesting going on. It just depends. Always got to have a bit of a mix. Yeah, having a bit of a mix is always very important. I 100% agree with that, Vanilla Horse. Because, you know, if it's just action scenes, then it's just like a video game. It's one thing to another, to another, to another, and that gets old pretty soon. You got to have character development. You got to see, you know, because the way you develop your character one way may not be the way it turns out. You know what I mean? Even role-playing during combat. Exactly. Even role-play during combat. Yeah. And good jokes. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hopefully things are fixed now. Let me go listen in and see how things are going. Okay. Is things okay again, or? Oh, okay. All right, then let me switch to the main screen again. That is not the main screen. Sure. All right. Right. Okay. Cool.
It'd be nice if he was back because I want him to make this thing, but that's fine. Okay, so as you all have now gotten your map and you're kind of finished with breakfast, the light's kind of climbing in the sky a little bit. Still doesn't break the clouds, but it's daytime, and Kelma's starting to get impatient towards the road. Do you all head off, and in which direction would you head off? You now have a map in your inventory that you all can look at and kind of make decisions based on that, if you wish.
Can I make a quick note?
You can make a
Due
quick-
to me taking a long rest, I have prepared the potency mutagen.
Fair enough. Good to know.
Yep, I'll write that down.
Keep track of that.
Yep.
But yeah. And like I said before, Kelma, you saw that there's a waterfall to the west side of where you all are, and then back south is where you came from, where you can go back to that crossroads.
Got it.
Cool.
Right. And what are you guys doing?
Guess I'm gonna show everyone the map and suggest towards Vallaki.
Okay.
It's a very
I
pretty map.
guess we start moving.
This is
It's very
pretty
stylized, and it's very,
It's very nice.
very much a trader's or a traveler's map, if that makes sense. Like it's the places that are marked on it are marked based on those are the places that the Vistani normally go to buy,
Appreciate that.
trade, and sell, and do any of their interactions with the local folk. They obviously don't have a lot of the locations in this region marked because they're not important or on this trade line. And
Hey guys, let's go immediately off the map and head to the very southern edge of the entire map.
go for it. I mean, it's a map. It's a world. You can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I see there's some interesting points on the map that I'm intrigued by.
Mm. It seems to be a bridge down to the south that I'm curious about exploring.
Which one? You mean the one that we came over?
No, the very lowest portion bridge.
That one. Okay.
Ah, that's a fun bridge.
And there's a little island up in that lake over there by
Ooh,
Kierski.
interesting.
I don't know how to say that.
Kresk.
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 There are many
Yeah.
interesting places on the map.
Mhm.
But the day is yours to do what you wish.
Well, we have a quest. We have a goal. Should probably start heading towards Leski.
Okay. To Vallaki through the
Vallaki.
way you came, back the crossroads and up the path with the arrows that say Vallaki, or attempt to go down the dirt road towards the waterfall.
I'd say that we follow the crossroads. There's the most traffic moving through that way.
Paths would probably be safer. I say in
Traffic
this
would have
world
us
that
strength
is
in numbers.
Barovia.
I suppose so. This is Barovia, yes.
So as you all gather your things, kind of make a group decision to head back to the crossroads and begin to exit out of the Vistani camp. They kind of send you off proper, say goodbye, wish you well on your journey and on your travels. As you all are exiting the camp, I wish Trovik was here right now, but it's okay.
I'm here.
You are here. Perfect. Trovik, I
Hello,
need you
dear.
to make a perception check for me. You all are about to exit the camp, but I need one perception check from you, my guy.
Please roll well.
Roll low. Yes.
Okay.
Aha.
As you kind of look around the camp, as the Vistani are saying their final goodbyes to you, and you begin to exit out of the camp, you feel another chill sensation come down your spine, and you kind of look over your shoulder almost instinctively, and you look towards one of the wagons, and you don't see anything there. But you swear you felt something had its eyes on you from that direction, from this wagon behind you here. But you kind of shake it off, and the group begins to walk off as you're kind of looking over your shoulder a little bit behind you.
Okay.
Oh god.
You continue and catch up with the group, and you all make your way to the crossroads. It's a couple hours. Well, it's about an hour and a half march through the woods, winding woods, till you get back to the crossroads at the intersection that had the wooden signposts. Okay. You get there, you see again the gravesite on the hill, and you see the gallows that Gaynor had seen himself in. The gallows themselves now have no body or figure hanging from it at all.
I start pulling an oil flask out of my pocket. And I look at Nim and the others.
I would just not go near it.
Right. And I slowly pocket it again.
And as you guys wind your way back to the crossroads, you come once again to the intersection. Yeah, I got you. That's fine. We're about to get to some stuff, and then we'll just take a break there.
North, south.
So you guys continue to the windy path that kind of cuts through the forest and leads. As you pass through the crossroads, nothing seems to stir from the graveyard itself. The wind blows the rope from the gallows, and it stays empty. You look over your shoulder again, nothing there. And you proceed along your way, winding back kind of into the forest. It's forest on your left-hand side from the path, more or less. But this path that you now take begins to slowly wind and switch back on itself up a hillside before kind of going around into a raised up part of the forest. Like, you're definitely going upwards around what appears to be this short, small mountain that was behind the gallows. Like, you're kind of wrapping around the pathway towards your destination. The path continues to wind and climb and wind and switch back. Who can I get a marching order from everybody?
I hope it's off to work we go.
Mike, who wants to go in front?
I'll stick to the back, probably.
But I probably have handed him the map and gone near the back.
Near the back, Irene is gonna squat dead center. To the back.
Osgood and Bran went in the back, apparently.
Yeah, well, we're both ranged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a
Rogue.
rifleman.
Yeah, so I'd say that's probably the order, in all honesty. Alright, cool. So make sure to note of that, because that's good to have copied. Okay. So Kelma, I need you to make a well, you got a map. Make a perception check for me as you guys wind through the woods.
Okay.
The woods this day don't seem to be as eerie in this part, per se. It just seems to be like thick woods, creatures and critters kind of running them out.
These rolls
A
are
quick
forever
side
low.
note.
Jeez.
Oh,
A
Side
quick
note.
side note, troll.
Yes.
Eyes of the Eagle. I'd be wearing those. So
Mhm.
he'd actually put on a pair of goggles. The Eyes of the Eagle do the following. How do I'll just copy and paste, I guess.
Click on the Eyes of the Eagle in your inventory, and it should pop up.
Oh, well,
Or
fair.
that works.
Or do that, yeah.
Um,
Those just let me see shit. So
fair enough.
helps.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So you guys continue to snake and wind through these bits of woods. No discernible creatures, a little bit of rustling here and there. You see another small bunny creature kind of just like hop out of the forest for a little bit and then jump back in and dart back in as soon as it notices you all. About 40 feet or so off into the trees, after about 2 or 3 hours of travel, you see a couple of deer kind of just like sitting there in a glade and kind of look over at you, pay you no mind as you continue to wander by. Sorry, once in the forest. I need to do a thing. Boop. Boop. Boop.
Damn.
Boop.
That's a lot of
There you
rolls.
go.
That's a lot of rolls.
We're doomed.
Okay.
It's fine, man.
Oh fuck!
I
Okay.
really feel like my new feet is about to come in handy.
Oh fuck!
So, you guys wind through this leg of the forest back and forth for about 4 or 5 hours or so, and you keep winding further and further up the edge of this mountain, cutting back and down into the forest a little bit, and then back up further. At about the 5th hour, you hear the footfalls of a horse that seems to be coming from the path in front of you. You can hear him off in a distance. And then as you continue walking further and further, a figure in the distance becomes visible of somebody who's riding a horse and headed in your direction.
Eyes of the eagle, trying to make out any details of the horse and rider.
With your eyes of the eagle, as it begins to get a little bit closer,
In conditions of clear visibility, I can make out details of even extremely distant creatures and objects as small as 2 feet across.
you can. Give me 1 second. Because I had it and now I don't.
Yep. Making sure they're not a threat. If they are, I am about to take some pot shots.
Sorry, I fucking lost the page. I do apologize. Moments of things. Where the fuck is the page? Why is there a page? Sorry, that's not it. That's that, and it's there. 2 seconds. I have screwed up because that's what I do best. Sorry, I have the things and the things. Okay. So, coming up the trail, you from the back line see what appears to be a black horse. It's carrying a rider, and the rider appears to have something in their hand. As it gets just a bit closer, you see that the horse itself, black, large sized, the rider wearing all black and a small bit of chainmail as a shirt. Immediately, your eagle eyes notice something very peculiar. This rider doesn't have a head.
Off the road. Quickly. Careful.
Do you all step off the road?
Yeah.
Guess.
Yeah.
Headless horseman. Don't know what the fuck it is, but I think it's an undead. I sort of make my way into the tree line.
Yeah. I'll do the same.
Okay. So you all cut off of the road and just slightly into the trees to wait for this thing to pass by?
Well, I'm gonna
I
hide.
guess I'm gonna try and duck behind a bush and hide.
Yeah.
Make a stealth check for me, everybody.
Oh.
I mean, I
Yeah,
assume
big
you're
minotaur
hiding in
guy.
the woods. You're-
Oh, stealth. Oh no.
Bye.
At least I'll live.
Bye. Oh my god.
Bye.
Okay.
Well, at least somewhat
Hi.
live.
Okay, so as you all branch off to the side of the path, you hear the footfalls of the horse getting heavier and heavier. And now you can all well see this as
throw the mushrooms.
the horse gets closer and closer. Doesn't seem to be paying attention to you all. Your group added stealth check was high enough. It was a group check, not just a single person check.
Yeah.
And Trovik, while you kind of try and hide behind a tree, you're big minotaur man, you kind of stick out. But it was enough. I'll say that for sure. It was enough. You see, now that it's much closer to you, the black horse seems to have almost like pale eyes, almost if it's blind in one eye on the side of the road that you're on, that you can clearly see. And the man is headless with chainmail and a black outfit under the chainmail. And in his hand, he's not holding a lantern. He's holding a head. And the head itself is emitting some sort of light, almost like
It's a
head.
Dullahan. Sorry. My bad.
As you all hide off to the side, the horseman and his ride kind of dart off past you down the path, continuing on until the hoof falls become distant, and you all feel it may be safe to get back on the path again.
Can I make a religion check? To see
In
if
regards
I
to
know anything else?
what?
I think you're called
Arcana
Dullahans
check.
or a religious thing, but what? Arcana?
Yeah, make an Arcana check. It's not
14.
necessarily what you think it is. You've heard tales in this land of a horseless or a headless rider who tends to come around at night, but she's got to ride somewhere in the day as well.
But I know that he's hostile.
You would know that he can be hostile.
Okay.
He's not outright attacks and fights anything that he runs across, but
Interesting.
when posed with a threat, many a Barovian have met a foul end to this man.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Well, I just sort of watch him go.
and he disappears off the path that you just came from, continuing past. Nice.
Interesting.
You all kind of mosey back onto the path and continue on for about another hour or two. And let's see, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. I would say at this point, it's beginning to get a little bit dark. The forest kind of opens up and comes into like an open plains area between the mountain that you've kind of been climbing up and another one. There's a little dip of a small valley, and then it kind of like climbs into another mountain on your left-hand side to the west. You've kind of been wrapping around this mountain that's now on your east and going steadily upwards. And you come to this semi-open area with much more sparse tree lines and things like that. And it's probably close to duskish at this point, based on the travel from Serpool to the intersection. 5.5 hours, 6 hours. Yeah, I'd say you're probably getting towards dusk of this day.
Camp. We're not traveling at
Camp.
night.
Not
Camp it
traveling.
is. Let's
So-
go set up.
Since you all are setting up camp and you have enough time to organize and do the things, are you making a fire? Are you setting a campfire? Are you taking time to find a spot that's off the road? Where are you camping? What are you doing? How are you doing?
Okay. Right. I'll probably try to find an area that's relatively thick with trees while maintaining that there's like no bugs or dangerous creatures. Like basically I'm trying to find a thicket, but not like a forest, if you know what I mean.
So
Somewhere off
basically,
the road.
the forest would have been like the mountains on the right-hand side of you, and there was like semi-decent forest to your left, right? And then you kind of came out into this semi-open plains area where trees are much more sparse. If you guys wanted to like stick to the forest area of this place, you could probably find a spot near the trees, but probably not in the forest at that point. I mean, you could, but that might be its own bag of worms. And you would know that the forests of Barovia are not
Pleasant.
necessarily as safe as... Yeah.
Right.
Like being on the road at night is not safe, but at the same time, being in a forest at night is probably no safer.
Well then, I suppose we just camp out in the plains then, as long as we have good visibility.
Make a survival check for me to attempt to find a location that's better visible. Is anybody gathering anything, wood for a campfire or anything like that?
Yeah, I can gather wood. want me to do a survival check for that?
Yeah,
Or?
make a survival check on that for me, guy.
Sweet. I don't find much.
You see the road kind of tapers off a little bit. The road keeps going further forward, obviously, but there are a couple like raised up cliff edges and things like that. Without being super selective, you could probably find one that would put you all in a raised up position.
Camp in the shadows of cliff.
Definitely camp below the cliff if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, and then I do my normal of, since I guess in our wall, our backs are to a cliff, and then there's like a forest in front of us.
I will give you a map. Give me a second.
Plain in front of us.
Yeah, it's kind of like plains in front of you.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I need to make sure I have the map right. So I would say sorry, DM stuff.
Stuff.
Okay, so I would say boop. Okay, move all these to token layer. So yeah, so I would say here you go. Boom. So I would say based on like tucking under a cliff more or less,
Okay.
you all would probably set camp about here-ish. Maybe off the road and tucked under a cliff. You could also potentially use this area if you wanted to. It might be a little more tucked away, but that's up to you guys. Basically, this right here is like a jagged cliff that kind of peeks out above you guys.
Sure. Well, then
that
I'm
makes-
just gonna search for some like big sticks that I might be able to like stake in the ground around the camp, and then I'm gonna do my thing like before. I take a string in my bells
String bells.
and just string right
Okay,
in
so
front of.
make a survival check to find sticks for me. Gaynor, you've gone off and
Rolled in the left.
gathered branches and things from a few trees. I wouldn't say you cut down any trees, but you kind of broke off some of the drier, more brittle looking branches and gathered a decent amount of brush to make a campfire of sorts.
I'm gonna pull a manacle out of my bag and sort of keep it near me.
Okay. Is anybody doing anything food-wise?
I have some dry rations, so I'll probably consume those.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Same,
We'll
regular
probably
ration.
have to kill something, food wise,
Same.
the next day.
Mhm.
Probably. Okay.
Where are my rations? Where are my rations?
Gone now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I could cook.
Sure.
That's one of my thingies. I could actually cook, but I just need food.
So you all kind of Gaynor makes a semi-decent campfire, and I assume he lights it as well, because
Ooh.
Of course, yeah.
fire stuff.
I can just, cast fucking fire on it.
Put your finger down. And...
It's your specialty.
And
So,
Can you control fire? I can't remember. I don't know your spells.
I got a sacred flame.
Ah, you do.
There's- yeah.
So the wood in front of you kind of erupts in like this white light, and then catches fire and burns. It's a little bit whiter than your average campfire, but it slowly turns to regular campfire colors.
It's a bonfire.
Well, it was, and then it stopped.
Shame.
But you all are sitting by this campfire as the sun slowly creeps down in the distance. As you all have made this campfire and this small campsite off the road, night begins to fall once again. You're sitting around, you've eaten your general rations and things like that. If you'd like to have any conversations around the campfire or in any of these long distance travels, you're more than welcome to. I just, for the sake of getting us to where we're going, I did not allow those. So. But again, if you want to have those conversations, you can. If not, we can continue on with the events of the evening. There's plenty of time on the road to talk.
I reckon most. Yeah, I'd reckon that most of the short-term conversation I'd be having with people would just be like, "What do you see on the road ahead?"
Mhm.
All right, like just casual conversation more than anything.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Not for Kelma. Kelma just stands with his wall on the cliff on his back. He doesn't really want to talk to anybody. He has his staff out, and he's just kind of looking out in the road, but he's not really staring at the road. It's kind of like he's in a daydreaming.
And for the purposes of this, I'm sorry, I'll do this. And purposes of this, I'll say this is your kind of like perimeter for your bells.
Where?
Right.
So that way you got it set up because you did mention you set it up. So I'll draw
Yeah.
that for that purpose.
Where,
And your back's kind of against the stones in the wall and the cliff behind you.
yeah. You said the perimeter of the bells. I don't see anything.
Because I'm in that layer. Haha, layer.
Oh, okay.
Now you have a bell's perimeter.
There we go.
It's somewhat around the camp, and it's string and bells and a few sticks that you found to like make almost like stakes in the ground type thing. to tie the
Yeah,
ropes.
exactly.
Okay. So, I need 3 people for watches, first, second, and third.
I'll take a watch. Whichever.
Which one?
Whichever one no one else wants.
I'll take first watch.
I'll take the third watch.
Okay.
Cool.
So, which one is Kelma taking? I'm sorry.
Third?
Third. Okay, got it. All right. So first is Gaynor, second is Bramwin, third is Kelma. Okay. So you all pull out your bread rolls once again, kind of get comfy as you can on this ground. The fog is not very thick tonight. It doesn't seem to be messing with the area. The sky is still obstructed by cloud cover and things like that, and occasionally the moon will peek through, but it's decently full. You're not quite sure if it's a full moon or not, but there is moonlight clearly visible on the surrounding terrain almost since the first time you guys remember from being here. Oh no, and I just messed up my whole window. Awesome. I do that a lot, apparently. So first watch, Gaynor. Have you roll a perception check for me?
Okay.
So what's the perception?
Just for kicks, because we're gonna be taking a long rest anyways, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna use one of my luck, and I'm gonna roll that again.
Okay, roll a d20.
Come on. Roll. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
way better.
19.
Nice.
Okay. So, your watch for the evening, you kind of are looking out over the plains and the valley and the cliff kind of to the other side of you. You see this path that's laid down in front, and you don't really notice anything from the nearby forest, per se. And you don't notice anything across the plains. It seems to be pretty clear and barren for the most part. However, you do notice that in a nearby tree, this nearby tree in particular,
Which
you
nearby thing?
see. Sorry, did I not ping? I will ping. So this nearby tree here,
Okay, yep, gotcha.
There's a tree.
you see a raven kind of flies over and perches on one of the branches. And you keep an eye on that tree out of curiosity, and soon another flies into the tree. Farther off in the distance, you see at this other tree another raven perches, a third in the first tree, and slowly a few trees that are near the path and on the path begin to populate with dozens of ravens. I've just got 6 on the map, but there's basically trees along this path here have now populated with ravens. And with your high perception check, you notice that they all seem to be facing the road.
Not looking at us, but the road.
At the road.
We're gonna want to shoot them all.
Another hour and a half passes in your watch, and you see coming through the forest what appears to be this eerie green light once again. It winds and snakes through some of the deeper parts of the trees. You can barely see it off in the distance, but as it grows closer, you see that it's something coming up the path. And within another 10 minutes, you see what is... Sorry, I gotta try and do all this. Events group, so I can do this. You see, oh no, well, that didn't do well at all. There we go. You see at least, and these are in groups of 5 or 6, but these are green, ghostly figures that seem to be trudging down this path and winding up the path. And now that you see them close enough, you can see that they're in groups of 5 and 6, and some in 4s, and a larger party of 8, but they seem to be traveling down the path that you all are headed. And these are ghostly, green, pale figures. There are dwarves, elves, gnomes, halflings, humans, elves, half-elves, a minotaur here, a minotaur there, a couple orcs, and they all seem to be in groups and clusters. The ghostly figures that you can see seem to be wearing like ghostly leathers and mail and armors and things like that.
Mhm.
The ravens begin to caw out in the direction of the ghosts as the procession continues further up the path. It's at least 150, 200 ghosts just wandering in small groups.
Can I wake someone up so that they can also witness this? So I'm not
Absolutely.
crazy.
Wake anybody up that you'd like.
I guess person who has next watch, so Braylon.
Okay. So you kind of like go over to Bramwell and shake her awake.
I'm like, do you see this? This we know what it's called, right? It's like the parade of something.
It's the
right?
March of the Dead.
March
You've
of the
heard
Dead. Yeah.
Do I see it?
Of course you do.
Cool.
You look up, and as soon as you wake up, you see this entire procession of ghostly figures and shadows, at least 100, 150 people long in the procession, just wandering silently down the path in
Yeah.
a slow dredge march.
Yeah. I definitely see that.
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
Not this time. Hey, you're the one who see yourself hanging on a gallows.
That's true.
Mm,
Seems the crows arrived, and then these figures started to appear.
crows?
Ravens.
No, I'm legit just asking, like, what
Oh.
birds?
In the trees over there, and I kind of just point in the general direction.
And as he points, you also see 4 or 5 trees that have at least 10 to 12 ravens in each, just like facing the road and cawing out. Like you could hear them as you woke up, but you were more
Hmm.
focused on the green figures that were walking rather than the birds cawing in the
waking
distance. What's that?
It's like she's waking up one
Right.
sentence at a time.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh,
I'm sorry. There was more ravens further down the path in this tree, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
I missed them, but they're there. And like, yeah, lining the trees down this path, they have filled them and begin to caw as the procession gets going and past them. And once the procession's end begins to pass, the ravens themselves quiet and then begin to fly off into the night. Almost as if, like, once the procession's over, they fly away, tree by tree, until
Huh.
it's begun to go past the horizon.
Ravens in a graveyard, and then ravens following a ghostly parade.
And eventually they drift out of visual and do the thing. And the ravens also fly off in the western direction.
And they don't seem to have any malice towards us.
Another mystery for Barovia. Is it my watch or am I sleeping?
I mean, you
It's
can
your
go back.
watch.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I mean, more or less, it would have happened during the transitioning of watches, is when the parade would be finishing. So,
Cool.
or at least
on-
passing by this point, I should say.
On an OOC basis, was to the west towards Castle Ravenloft?
No, Ravenloft is somewhat north of the pool area that you were in.
Okay.
And currently,
All I wanted to know.
west is closer towards like Valaki and Kresk,
Interesting.
that direction.
Okay. Good to know.
In and out of character notice, but yeah, you would know that. So as Gaynor, you kind of settle into an uneasy sleep. Not completely uneasy, but you're still a little thrown off by the procession.
Uh-huh.
Branwen, I need you to make a perception check for me for
Cool.
your watch. Okay. And okay. So during your watch, the air around you grows colder. It's the chill of the night more than anything else. At least that's what you mark it off to. And you're kind of looking out over the plains in the valley and the preceding mountain on the other side of that small dip, keeping a pretty weather eye. For the most part, you see something off in the distance. The moon has kind of illuminated the landscape, so it gives you a bit of a better visual reference of a shadow of something, probably about maybe 100, 150 feet off. Probably about in this area on the other side of the cliff, on the far side.
Which area?
Sorry. Big map, my bad.
I know. Okay, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, and it's just up to the past that ridge a little bit, and it's off in the distance. You can't quite make out what it is. Suffice to say that it is wearing dark colors, and even with the moonlight kind of shining down, you notice the large frame of a horse and somebody sitting atop it.
Great. Cool.
You keep kind of looking in that direction, just tracking it with your mind, but not really bringing anybody's attention to it at this point. What that is. You would think that. A few moments pass, and you're a little offset by somebody off in the distance. Doesn't seem to be moving. And you can kind of make out the horse is facing towards your direction.
Okay.
Sorry.
Definitely keeping aware of it. Definitely.
Another few moments pass, and you look back to the figure again, the frame in the distance. You see that the horse is still there. The rider seems to be absent.
Okay,
And
no.
as you look and kind of peering like, where the fuck's the rider at? You turn around to go and wake somebody, and a man is standing beside you.
I cannot be surprised while conscious.
You are not surprised.
Cool. Just making sure.
The man.
Oh my god.
My apologies. I need to get a reference point so I can describe it properly.
We are so fucked.
Show yourself. You may not be. You don't know. You could be fucked. You might not be fucked. You don't know if you're fucked. But you will soon find out if you're fucked. The gentleman is wearing a black tunic, a black cape. He has a human-like build. He's wearing black padded boots of sorts. He has a metallic black helmet on and a bushy, huge white beard. As you turn around to go and wake somebody or to literally do anything after looking into the darkness, you hear and behind you is this man. As you look up, his eyes glow a bright and eerie yellow.
Okay.
A moment passes, and you hear something in your head. He looks to you, and you can hear his voice in your mind. My master has a request for you. The request is a simple one. My master is strong, and they should be heeded. The entire outfit and visage of this man is completely black, minus his bushy white beard, and you hear in your head, 1 pint of Kalashtar blood shall be enough to stay my wrath. Heed this request, and you shall be spared. Fare to procure this for me, and you will seal your fates. As he holds out a scroll, basically, it's elegant, it has black end pieces to it, and it's tied up with a little piece of string as he holds out the scroll. He says nothing to you, you're just hearing all this in your head. You have until next midnight. And he holds the scroll out in your direction, drops it down on the ground in front of you. And as you look down towards the scroll, you look back up and he's gone.
I'm gonna pick up the scroll. Do I even want to pick up the scroll?
Do you want to pick up the scroll? That's on you.
We're gonna have to tango, aren't we?
Stare at it for. I didn't even know you're a Kalashtar.
You have no clue, you just have this
Nope.
instruction.
She doesn't.
Nope.
You haven't told anybody you're a Kalashtar, so I would say no. Nobody knows.
I didn't know you're a Kalashtar. So she's very confused. I'm just gonna stare at it for like a minute and then sort of very tentatively pick it up.
Okay.
Open it.
As you open it, it reads in flowing scrawled script. 1 pint of Kalashtar blood. And then it's got a signature line on it. And signed on the signature line, you see the letters YAGA.
YAG. Oh, fuck!
I need to be.
Okay, my fuck. Can I roll to see if I know if that means anything?
Sure, make a history check. Or an arcana check. Or
History.
I'd say history, yeah, it's history.
History is better for me than arcana.
What'd you roll? 16?
Yeah.
Living in Crystal Reach and being kind of isolated for most of your youth, you probably read a lot of books. You probably heard tales of more like fairy tales.
Yeah.
Of a being by the name, she had many names, Witch of the Night, Lady of Winter, many other titles, none of which really stuck. You might have found in a text somewhere the actual title Baba Yaga, but to you, it was nothing more than fairy tale and myth. At least it was. Because, like, that's completely out of your realm, if we're being honest, so I'd say that's probably all you know.
Shit. She's gonna roll up parchment again and put it in her bag.
Okay.
feet
The-
west of the Baba Yaga. Cool.
The remainder of your watch, though you are now completely creeped out and on edge,
Mm-hmm.
goes by with little to no consequence. Surprisingly, the bells did not go off at all.
Yeah.
And you pass your watch over to the third watch person of the eve, which is Kelma.
And I'm gonna like almost like shake him awake.
Mhm.
Kamal just kind of rolls awake, sits up, and just stands up. He looks at Gwen, kind of gives a nod.
Mm,
He tilts his head a bit.
very watchful.
What's wrong? What did you see?
I love that toned voice. It's so good. 1000% Kelma. Sorry. Continue.
Tell me.
Ghosts. And not everything is gonna trigger your bells.
That's why we have watches. What did you see?
I mean,
Not entirely sure what it was. Just keep an eye.
His eyes narrow a bit. He just kind of moves his back to another part of the wall. And then he just kind of sits down cross-legged to kind of give the best angle so you can see everything that's out there. And he's highly attentive now.
okay.
And Bronwyn's gonna take a fucking long time to get to sleep.
Okay. So, Kelma, make a perception check.
Here it comes, the famous perception
The
check.
famous perception check with my +2 that I've never rolled beyond 10.
You got it, buddy. This is the time.
Roll that natural one. Come on.
Yep.
I hope not. I really do.
This thing hates me. This thing hates me.
It's not a fan of you or your perception.
No.
Thankfully, the check on that was pretty low. So, another hour-ish passes during your watch, and off in the distance, you hear coming from in front of you, kind of in this area, or I'll say in this direction, further up, a little bit down the path. You see what appears to be a blue light almost coming out of the ground.
Oh my god.
Off far in the distance, like it's clear night sky type thing. The clouds are kind of receded, so you can clearly see a glowing blue light coming from the ground. It's probably about maybe 400 to 600 feet off, I'd say.
Okay.
And then you hear heavy footfalls down in the distance. You hear from that same direction a familiar, loud, guttural roar that pierces the night. Whoa! And you recognize it as another one of the flab giants that has assailed the spaceman before. You watch as off in the distance the shadow of this figure of this creature begins to walk up the path, walks towards the blue light, and then seemingly sinks into the ground and vanishes from your view. The blue light remains. It doesn't seem to have sunk into the ground right at where the blue light's emitting from, but in that direction. The glow continues for another hour and a half or so before, as daylight begins to crest over the horizon, the morning begins to come and the light is either obscured by the fact that there is actual light outside or the light has faded. You're not quite sure.
Okay. Is everyone waking up now, or?
Yes, everyone's kind of rousing. Oh, apologies. Trovik, make me a wisdom saving throw.
God.
Oh, fuck.
I had narration stuff to do. I forgot about that. But Trevor, if you could wisdom save for me.
That's better.
Okay. That is a 10 on the wisdom save. So your dreams are not as harrowed as they were the night before. I need everybody else in the party to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Is
Oh,
it
no.
considered a mind-affecting effect?
Yep. I need to know that, actually.
I need to check.
College cards got resistance to mind affecting shit, I believe.
I do as well.
Advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like being charmed?
I'm reading. Give me a second.
The resistance isn't. I love it.
Oop,
It is
did I?
not listed as a charm or a mind effect.
Mm.
Okay.
So
It's
I
a
would say
10.
10. Okay.
Thank
10.
God it's not that natural one.
Oh my,
Jesus.
thank fuck. Otherwise, Bramwin's had a fucking night.
Yeah.
Real quick, does this require me to dream in any way?
Oh yeah.
No, it does not.
Okay. I am immune to magical spells and effects that require me to dream, like the dream spell, but not to spells and effects that put me to sleep.
Right. No. It is not in that vein. So,
Yep.
Branwyn, you succeed.
God.
My God.
Oh, this is bad.
Here's my question: do I fail?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna use one more of my lucks. The rest is over.
So I failed.
Reroll that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Everyone,
okay,
but
11.
me. Everyone but me.
Okay. So, Kelma, as you go back to sleep, or I'm sorry. So it would be during, because this is retroactive, because I should have had Trevor do it at the first thing.
Mm.
Your dreams before you got woken up were not that pleasant. You felt like something may be watching you and had a slight chill down your back during your dreams at certain points. You woke up in kind of like a cold stupor, even though Brandon woke you and told you of things and issues going on. So, that is that resolved, and now it is morning, and you all are waking up and kind of gathering yourselves.
And we took another long rest, right?
Yeah, you got another long rest. So everything's reset, everything's good to go, and everybody got their long rest. But what you did see in the morning was a blue light coming from the opposite hill, about 600 or so feet off in this direction.
So, Kelma, well, everyone's kind of getting up and roused for the most part. He kind of steps in the middle of everybody, and he just kind of goes, in the distance, I saw a blue light. I saw one of those monstrosities we encountered a couple days ago with the old man. And
Osgood sort of shudders.
and it disappeared. This place has vile magic. Then he takes his quarterstaff,
He was summoned.
points it at Gwen. This one saw something too. It says nothing. What the rest of you guys see? If we're gonna do this, secrets must be shared. If not, we die. And then he slams his quarterstaff on the ground and just sits, almost basically waiting for someone to say something.
Can I make a... I have a -1 in deception.
You can certainly try.
Oh, he's obviously hiding something.
You are the shittiest liar ever.
Yeah. He's very obviously hiding something.
You're the 2-year-old lying about stealing cookies.
I didn't take them.
I look very visibly away and sort of shuffle back a little bit.
Kamal looks at him and he just kind of grumbles. He's like, "Old man, I'm not saying to say your life story. We just need to watch our back. I don't trust you yet, but I don't want you to die. Be honest with us, and we live."
Something wants to make a deal with me, and that's all I can tell you. I haven't made up my mind yet. For your safety's sake, I can't say much more.
Gee, your mic's kind of cutting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad, Chi.
Sorry.
Yeah, what was it? I
This
mean,
doesn't
you don't
matter.
have to the RP. What was it again? What were you trying to say?
Effectively, I would like
Robot.
somebody wants to make a deal.
Our
Try
robot is taking him
disconnect.
over. Everyone beat him. The old man.
Ah,
Try disconnecting and reconnecting in
No.
Discord.
yeah.
He lies so bad that he became mute.
Test. Gee, you there?
He's probably just fixing his mic.
Fixing the mic, probably.
Are we good?
Better now, yeah.
Better?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Better.
So he sort of looks
Ooh.
over
Not
at.
Nope.
better.
Nope.
Not
You
better.
know how you could
Okay.
change server, like the East Coast, West Coast server. Sometimes if you change that,
Yeah,
it helps.
I don't know if that's possible in my head. It's
No,
also a matter bandwidth.
We'd
Let
have
me
changed the
check.
server of the actual Discord channel.
Yeah, the Discord channel.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
And it should already be on East, so it shouldn't be an issue.
I
I
mean,
can try and change it to West, but that's going to put
Yeah.
him real
I'm
far
West
away.
Coast.
You can put it in Central.
Yeah.
Put it in Central.
just try changing it, see what happens.
Give me a quick
Sure.
sec.
Is that in server settings, I would assume?
Yeah.
Sorry, quick technical difficulties. Stream. Thanks for coming on out.
All right, let's try
Where are
that.
we?
Does that work?
It's
Yeah,
a
hang
little
on.
choppy, but
Better?
give me a second, I'll change it.
Once he
Um,
once he changes it, just leave the group and come back, and that might help.
Room everybody, come back, and then we'll test.
How about now?
Much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's-
That works.
Nim test
Uh,
real quick, so you're good?
Hello, I don't seem to be robot. My connection says it's good.
Yep.
We're perfect. Okay, cool.
Everyone's
right.
now really quiet though. Shit.
Yeah,
Alright.
no, it was definitely a volume change,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Just crank
Alright.
everybody a little bit, we'll be fine. You're good. Go for it.
Yep. We're all good. So, Osgood shuffles a little bit in place. Looks uncomfortable. Something wants to make a deal with me. I am not sure I want to accept it. For your safety, I can't say much more. And for my safety, I reckon I should keep looking into it.
Come on, just nods. Fair enough. Then he puts his eyes directly again on Gwen.
Oh, I glare back. Don't you worry. Does anyone here know of a Kalashtar?
Oh, fuck. I would be one.
Hmm.
How much do you want me dead?
At the moment, not.
How likely am I to die?
I pull out scroll.
I'll look at it.
No.
This is a shopping list for 1 pint of
It's
Kalashtar
a
blood.
shopping list.
Wow, incredible. How much blood is a pint?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Bad.
lot. I mean, it's not enough to kill you, but that's like when you
It's
donate
like
blood.
a fourth of your blood.
Yeah,
It's like when you
Oh.
donate blood.
like when you
Oh,
donate
boy.
blood.
Oh. I don't suppose any of you have healing magic.
I mean, is he gonna take damage if he gives the blood? That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
question.
Oh, yeah.
He would probably feel. I mean, I don't know. He might take a little bit, but
I
it's
would
not
say
like,
you would take some damage from piercing yourself, and
Yeah.
but like
if
very
you
little.
did
I
it
think.
properly, you could. I'd say it'd be a medicine check to
reckon-
try and like
I
Would
reckon as the
know?
blood hunter, I'm probably actually trained in fucking around with my blood.
Would I know because stuff.
I'd say you'd have advantage on a medicine check to do it properly.
Yeah, and I have
Okay.
high
If you were to
I have
make it.
high medicine as well, so I probably would be like you'll just feel weak for a day or so.
My only concern is my blood kind of, sort of, technically is electrical. I think, maybe. Whenever I draw blood, it seems like lightning comes out. So I'd be worried about electrocuting everybody in a 10-mile radius. But, I mean, surely it's probably not that bad.
Well,
At this point,
He
Kelma
just-
stands up and he's just like, the question is if, but why?
I don't know.
Do I see the signature in question?
You would see the signature, yes.
Can I make a history roll?
Sure.
Since I have advantage to recall information about Fey, Fiends, or Undead, do I have advantage?
I would say yes.
Right, because I believe that Baba Yaga is a Fey, yeah?
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh my god. Thank
You
fuck.
know that Baba Yaga is no fairy tale. You know that she is
Yeah.
a very real entity that has 3 horsemen as servants. You know them by name because you are a hunter who has hunted creatures of the
Fey variety.
unimaginable and Fey
Mhm.
variety that people only hear about in stories and fairy tales. You know that she is a very powerful entity. Some call her a hag, some call her a witch. The premise is she's magical, she's real, she can transcend planes, and her 3 knights are named. I apologize, I need to get to a page again because I have all this shit here.
George,
3
Michael, and Bob.
No. They are known as Bright Day, Red Sun, and Black Night.
Mm.
And you would know that they are 3 horsemen. They control the changing of the times of day in most lore that you've heard of.
Holy shit, okay. So the day-night cycle's gotten in touch with her. It's like, kill this guy for me, right? Okay. I can accept.
Oh.
I look at Nim, I'm like, you really should fuck with the lady of the night. Alright, how much do you need? A pint? He looks at his various vials and sort of jars and shit. He's like, I could probably prepare a mutagen using that. I don't know if there's anybody
I
here
may
minds
also
waiting.
have vials and a for reasons.
I don't want to question who you are, what you do, but I am starting to worry.
I mean, I legit pull out like a herbalist kit and an alchemist kit from my bag.
That's fair. Well, yes, I suppose I can accept that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
He pulls out a knife and sort of like looks at you expectantly.
I pull out my healer's kit and I kind of look at Gwen with kind of like this look of like, if this is what you want to do.
Slowly sheath the knife.
I mean, I don't. But I get the feeling, seeing as her servant popped in here without triggering any of your bells.
What
that
did he look
messing with
like?
this thing. All black, white beard.
Do I know which one?
I don't know if you've ever seen these servants.
But would I have heard of like a description?
You
or-
would understand which one it was because you know lore-wise that none of them can exist on the same plane at the same time.
Right.
It's a rule called
Oh.
2 sets, one rises, 2 sets, where basically the Black Knight reigns over the domain of nightfall to dawn. Red Dawn, or the other 2 proceed over similar time frames. Apologies. Bright Day is dawn till noon, and Red Sun is noon till nighttime.
Okay.
So by the time of day, you would know which one it was.
He sort of nods casually. He's like, all All right. I don't really want to trouble Baba Yaga herself. I've heard many stories, and I don't want to fuck with that. So, yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sort of winces.
I
You wince.
I kind of look over to Trovic, and I kind of yell out. I go, Sir Trovic, mage. He's gonna need food. We're gonna need food. If you can find something,
food.
that'll
What
be
do you mean
useful.
by food?
I suppose I can go find something, I guess.
Sure.
You go off, and y'all could go and try and find some means of food other than the basic rations.
I'm a little confused.
Gainer, are you going with?
Oh god, I'm no hunter.
No hunter. So Trovic, you're going by yourself into the
Okay.
woods to.
I
get
mean,
food.
does Irina want to tag along?
I mean, Irina could tag with you. She's frail and weak and roguey, but she could tag with you. Yeah, sure. Okay, so Irina and Trovic are going to go not deep into the woods, but try and find some small game or something like that to actually cook up. It's not just like beef jerky rations of which you've been surviving off of for the most of the time. So I would ask medicine check from whoever is blading Osgood.
I have a +2, but I don't know about anybody else having anything higher.
I have +4,
Right. Do that then.
Medicine. Yeah, mine's +1.
so I guess.
Yeah,
I
the
guess-
+4 should probably hit. But
Okay, so Kelma, you're gonna make the medicine check for me
All
with
right.
advantage because you're having help and it's willing.
Yeah.
I would allow Trovic make a survival check for me to attempt to find some sort of small game with Irina. You make that check with advantage because Irina's helping you.
Oh
Oh,
jeez.
fuck! Thank.
Wow.
My
Oh
God.
man. Let's
Okay.
hope that at least
God.
medical
Found some
check
grubs on the
works.
ground.
Oh,
All right.
You go out and you all do some light hunting in the woods. You're a big minotaur, man. Like you're like trying to sneak through the woods and like sneak up on prey, and it's just they notice you from a mile away. Deers scutter away. A few of the little rabbit creatures that have now been the interesting topic of debate of whether or not they're good food or not, kind of like fly around and fly away from you and just kind of tease and toy with you a little bit.
You do not find anything. I assume.
You well, you have advantage. That's a 3. I'd say you probably get like maybe one of these or two of these like waffle tingers that you actually like cut down out of the air out of sheer frustration with your axe. But you didn't.
Is it not possible to provoke something that would want to get me?
Just start a combat.
I mean, you certainly can.
God.
I would say if you wandered far enough into the woods, you could probably provoke a wolf or something to
Oh my God.
attempt to attack.
That sounds like a
wolves
good
do
idea.
have wolves and things.
Yeah.
Wicked
certainly
guys
do
for a
that.
second time to a werewolf.
All right, so
He's a big minotaur,
Um,
man. He could do it.
you kind of go in the woods, make a lot of noise. Irina's scared as shit, but she's not leaving your side.
Oh my god, I forgot she was with me.
I mean, y'all are like
Jesus
5 minutes into the woods. You can
Christ.
send her back if you want. It's up to you. She
Mm,
also has 16 health, I think.
What? Okay.
16.
yeah, no. You can head back.
And she's just a little concerned. Said, but what are you gonna do? And you obviously tell your plan to try and get some bigger game to chase you. And she's like, yeah, good luck with that. And kind of like turns and hauls ass back out of the woods into the campfire. The rest of you see Irina running out of the woods back to your campfire as you're preparing to blade.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What happened now?
He wanted to be bait. I don't quite understand, but he said he's gonna find food.
Yeah, fair enough. He's a big fucker.
You just start hearing like a giggle from Kelma as he's pulling out his medicine kit.
Okay,
Christ.
so I will take you away from here for now because you're away from there for now.
What the hell is happening?
I mean,
Second
Wicked is a
campaign,
snack,
he's been
confirmed.
bait.
Yeah, Wicked
Um,
is a snack.
Okay, so we'll get back to Wicked's situation in just a second. Let's roll the medicine checks.
All right.
Who's medicine checking?
I guess I am because I'm
Oh,
getting
God, help
advantage
me.
on this medicine. So let's hope it works better than my perception. Natural 20
Oh,
and
I mean,
hold
yeah.
on. And my second roll is probably not going to be any better than that, but
Come on, come on.
it'll be so we're going to go with the 24.
So, with the willing cooperation of the Kalishtar in front of you to be cut open, your decent skill from the monks that you've learned from in your knowledge of medicine, and the assistance of Branwen with various vials and things to contain the blood and to get the blood in. It's quite a messy process. Thankfully, because you had 2 people working on it with you and you were willing and not fighting and they didn't try and like take your arm off or anything, you suffer I'll say 3 points of damage. 1
I
from
am
the
going
cutting
to.
open of you and 2 more from the
Okay.
amount of blood loss.
Here's an interesting thing. Can I use Blood
Your-
Curse?
Your
Hard
body
to
here.
Reduce
yeah.
that by.
Blood curse? Yeah.
Can I use Blood Curse to reduce that by 1d4? Oh no, it's subtracting from a creature's attack roll. Never mind.
Yeah.
No.
And we're not attacking you. We're just
Yeah,
It's,
right.
it's a willing thing, so I'd say no.
doing
Okay.
It's only 3 health though, so
in the middle of
'cause they
nowhere
did
medicine.
very well, and that could have gone
You take that 3
very much
health.
more damage. So yeah,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
tick off 3 health and you're good. You do
Yeah.
feel weak after, and it takes them a good while to like properly get blood out of your veins in your arm without.
Yep.
It's still a messy, bloody process because you're in the middle of the woods, but it could be a lot worse. And you do feel pale
His
and faint from
blood
that.
sparks as well, like lightning coming down off of it.
And Branwen, you were catching it in vials, I assume, or trying to
I
like.
have at least 2 spare vials right now.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing with those?
What is the size of a vial? Is it like a
I-
potion
it-
bottle vial, or is it
the
like
potion
a different kind of-
vial. I have 2 because I have 2. I've used 2 potions so far.
Okay, I would say you probably get a pint's worth in the 2 vials, more or less. It would probably take up both of those vials
Okay.
based on size. Because I mean, I assume like a potion bottle wouldn't be bigger than like cupped in your hand type thing anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 of those would probably equal like a pint bag of blood type thing. So I would say it takes y'all about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so to properly get this done and then tie off the wound so it doesn't keep bleeding out and stuff like that. And you get your portion of a pint of blood for whatever purpose it's needed pretty well. Trovik, I need you to roll initiative for me. We're just gonna do this on the same
So
map
dumb.
because it's easier like this. But yes, I need you to roll initiative.
Ridiculous.
As after about 10 minutes of wandering through the woods and Irina being gone from you and you being isolated, you. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? 10. Okay. Sorry. I need to get to my list of things because this was not expected, but well welcomed. Boop doop doop boop boop.
The shenanigans continue.
I mean, the shenanigans never end if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
So, after about 10 or so minutes of wandering off into the woods by yourself and trying to be solo bait in these woods, you hear a howl off in the distance. And then from much closer to you, you hear another. And a third one from another side, as it seems like something has been following you since you walked into these woods. You are... Sorry. In almost no time at all, you are surrounded on all sides. And I'm going to move this encounter up to here just because it's easier for me. map-wise. I could put in another board, but that wouldn't be fun for everybody else. You are surrounded by 4 wolves. The farthest one off and one directly in front of you in this direction is extremely large, and the other 2 behind you are kind of smaller. You rolled a 10, so I will add your turn order there, and then we'll do that there, and that's a 10, and perfect. And then we're going to do that, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. And then we're going to sort. All right, and this is probably about a decent ways off from you guys. So, first
is a
in turn
lot.
order is this small wolf is going to run up to you, probably get to you in distance, and just kind of like dive towards you and bite out at you. That is a 23 to hit
That hits.
for 6 piercing damage. And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
A strength saving. Got it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
And for funsies,
There's a.
Here he goes, looking for trouble.
okay, you are knocked prone.
Oh
Okay.
no!
God.
The next turn in order is yours, Trovik.
I'll stand back up.
And you do see that there are 4 wolves around you. You can clearly see them all through the trees.
Okay.
But for the purposes of this, I'm not putting it on a map with trees. You'll be fine.
I'll pivot around. I'll
Bless you.
rage.
Okay, Rage. As you go into a hulking Minotaur Barbarian Rage. What do you do?
I'm going to swing my great axe at the wolf that hit me.
Definitely hits. That is 13 slashing, plus 2 for Rage, plus 3 for Divine Fury. As you cut deep into this wolf and it just kind of falls to the ground, it slumps down, and that is the end of the wolf.
And the end of my turn.
It's the end of your turn? Yeah, because bonus action was the thing, right? Got it, okay. The end of your turn. The other wolf that was running towards you is going to continue to do so and make a bite attack, because that's all these fuckers can do. Instead of 15, does that hit?
Yep.
So it's 5 points of piercing damage because you take half damage, and I need you to make another strength saving throw. And you make the save. So it bites into your leg and you just kind of like shake it off. It doesn't knock you down or anything, but it bled you just a little bit, but you're okay. Further through the woods, this large, massive direwolf is going to run up onto you. I'm going to move you off the field there. And is going to attack, trying to bite at you again. And that's an 18, so that is 5 more points of piercing damage. And then the third is going to, distance things, stuff. Yeah. So the other one is going to get up to about here and be growling angrily in your direction and like licking its lips. They feel like they've got a decent bit of prey in their midst.
Why is this wolf 10 feet wide and 10 feet tall? Jesus.
Because they are large wolves.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
And size doesn't matter when you drag tokens.
Fair.
Trovik, you are up again.
Okay. Towards the large wolf.
You have large wolf and little wolf.
I'll do the large one.
Okie doke. Swing, swing. That is gonna miss.
I'll attempt again. Wow. Okay.
That is also gonna
Let's see here. I'll use
do have the War General if you wish to go that route.
Yeah.
Oh, you already.
No, I already used that.
That's
Do
right,
we,
I'm gonna
do
do
we
that.
hear any of this, or is...
Crashing,
About
banging, occasional screams.
10 minutes off. I would say y'all would get a perception check. Yeah, the whole party would get a perception check, knowing that Irina's come back. Like, he said he was going to be bait. You're not quite sure
Yep.
what that entails, but yeah, I'd say go for it. Everybody make a perception check for me. Okay. Are you
Shit,
doing
these
anything
are
else,
dire
Krovic?
wolves. Oh no.
Yeah, I was gonna use a second win.
Okay. So roll. You can actually just click on the ability second one, and it'll do it for you. Yeah. So.
Didn't
Oh,
do it.
Okay,
Oh,
click
here we
on-
go.
Yeah, just click on the pink button. Yep. So you
There we
gain back 4 health. None of you guys hear this happening.
Well then.
None of those checks were high enough with the distance he's off and away from you.
I'm too focused
At
on
the
my
end of
own
your
blood.
turn, this one is going to bite out and attack. It's a 15, so that is 3 points of damage. This one is going to bite out and attack. It's an 11 to hit.
That one misses. Yeah.
And this one is going to run in and attack with advantage. I'm sorry, the first thing is the only roll. My bad. So that is a 19 to hit, which is Jesus Christ. That is 7 points
19
of
to hit.
damage. Yeah, because it rolls it twice. It's the 9 and the 19.
Oh, okay, okay.
I accidentally rolled the button twice because I'm so used to
That's
that.
fine.
No,
Yeah.
because it rolls it with advantage or disadvantage already. So that's a 19
7.
to hit. That is 7 points of damage. As this larger wolf, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, okay.
As you grapple with this wolf who's biting at you, you manage to shake him off just before he takes you down to the ground. It's your turn. You now are harrowed on 3 sides by wolfy things.
Yes. Okay. I'll swing at the small one.
Go for it. That hits for 12 slashy. As you cleave
14 slashing.
14 slashy. Yeah. And your divine fury, that's another 6 on top. Yeah. As you cut the head off of this one, and it just slumps down to the ground. Almost flying like 5 feet off with the mass and weight of your swing.
Okay. And then how does the War General can I use it on another target or no?
Yes.
Okay.
It is
then I will
basically like take
swing-
another attack.
I will swing at the one that bit me.
Okay.
Or yeah.
I got you. Swinging at the one a bit.
Nice.
That is 7
7.
slashing plus whatever your divine.
There you go.
3.
So that's 10 points of damage. Okay.
And I will use hammering horns on it.
Okay. Make an attack roll with your horns.
Nice.
Shit.
Natural.
Woo!
Wow.
So that is dice is 6, so that's 12 plus 3 is fuck math. 15 points of damage plus 2 is 17 points of damage, and it gets pushed off, right?
If it fails the strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw, right? Thank you. What was the DC for that? It's like
13.
12 or 13, yeah. It rolled a 12, so that gets pushed how many feet? 5 or 10?
10.
10. Pushed 10 feet off, and that was, I'm sorry, I did the math. It's 15 plus 2 is 17 points of damage. That one is not looking too happy. It is still on its feet, though. It is just bleeding and wounded. Is it the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. The one next to you is going to try and bite again. That is a 7 to hit. That's going to miss. And then the other one is going to try and charge back in, even though it's bleeding and it's angry, and it's going to make an attack at you. That's a natural 20
Oh,
with advantage. That is, oh my gosh, Why did it do weird things? So that is
Should be. It's like a 5. Rolled 5. Times
so
2?
roll a 5 times 2, so that'd be 10 plus 3. So 13 cut in half is 7. Right? Yeah. 13 cut in half.
It'd be
is
6 if we're rounding.
It'd be
down.
6 because we're rounding down. You're right. So it'd be 6 points of piercing damage as this one just angrily lashes out and bites at you. Your turn.
Okay.
You've got this one here, which is severely wounded, and the other one that looks fresh.
I'll swing first at the severely wounded.
Okay. Everybody at camp could make one more perception check just to see. Natural 20. As you cleave literally this one up through the mouth in half.
Jeez.
And it screams out and howls out in pain as it slumps down. Gaynor, you hear the howling and screaming of a whimpering wolf as it gets cut fucking... And you hear the roar now of Trovik from the woods, loud as day, as he just mutilates this thing. So that one's dead.
Okay. As I swing up through that one.
Technically 22 plus 4 plus whatever.
Right, I didn't even roll radiant for that one.
That one fucking got overkill.
Yeah, so as you said, I cleave up through it. I'll attempt to bring the hammer, or the axe, I should say, down on the other one.
Sure. And that's using another war general, right?
My last war. Well, technically we're level 4.
You have 4 now, yeah. So yeah. Yep. Okay. Cleave down.
Move down.
That is a 16 that hits for
divine
16 slashing damage.
18 plus 6.
Plus 2 plus 6, so that's 24 points of slashing damage. As this one gets a hefty blow to the top of its head and is bleeding down one eye and through a cut on the face. And you're going to do the horns. That also hits for 8 points of piercing damage as you gore through it with your horn. It is bleeding from multiple holes and pieces and parts. It is not having a good day.
Strength save.
And strength save, you're right. Otherwise it gets pushed. Strength save, thank you for that. So it's a 17 to save, so it does not get pushed.
Okay.
However, on its turn, it is going to disengage, so you don't get an attack of opportunity. And it is basically going to haul ass away, seeing that this somewhat simple prey has just started demolishing these fucking wolves, and it is going to dash off into the forest using its
How
action.
much movement?
Movement. Let's see. So it would have stats. Sorry. It has 50 feet of movement speed normally, so it would dash 100 feet off.
Wow.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think
Get out of here.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's bolted.
You got
Like,
lucky
as
this
soon as
time.
Well, no, it uses action to disengage, so
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
move 50 feet, and then it wouldn't be able to use its bonus action dash, so it'd be 50 feet off.
Oh. Well, that changes things.
But it is like weaving through the woods and the trees, like you're in a forest. But technically, it's
incredibly
50
rude.
feet off. You could do something to attempt to hit it, I would say. 50 feet would actually be like this distance here, so I'll move it one back. But it is bleeding, and you can see a trail of blood behind it and everything. Your turn.
I will attempt one thing.
One thing. Attempt it. Are you javelin this bitch?
I'm going to do a goring rush.
Oh my god. What is your movement speed?
30, so I can do...
Oh, but then you take the dash action, which
I
is
take
60.
a dash,
and,
yep.
Oh my god, okay. Make your attack roll with your horns. And that, plus your rage, is 6 points of damage. As you gore this wolf, charging through it, you pierce it with your horns and pin it up against a tree, and it just goes limp up against the tree. Jesus, Trovik, you're a fucking unit.
Barbarian's
It
gonna
is
barbarian.
very dead.
So, as you all have heard this, I apologize. The woods go silent, Gaynor, as you had just heard like 2 loud yelps, and you began to get a little bit worried, and the woods are quiet.
I think Brandon would have heard it too, but yeah.
Bran probably would have heard it too. I just know you rolled like a ridiculously number.
I hate
Oh yeah, you would have heard it
I'm
too.
a little
yeah.
too focused on my pain right now to look around.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry. So the 2 of you would have heard it, and now the woods are silent, and Irina looks worried. Make a strength check for me, Trovic, to see if you can drag all 4 of these wolves back. If you want to bring them all, of course.
16.
Yeah, that's enough.
I'll bring as many as I can.
Yeah, I would say dragging them by the leg and kind of like getting them in a group in like a bushel, more or less. You could
Fucking hell.
come out of the woods with 2 dire wolves and 2 wolves just like dragged on the ground behind you, leaving a massive trail of blood. And you get back to the camp with 4, really like 6 wolves worth of food.
I brought breakfast.
Jesus Christ, sir, that is ridiculous.
Kelmoff after patching up Osgood, he looks over at Trovic, and probably for the first time this group has seen, absolute jubilant smile come across Kelmoff's face, looking at this, and he goes,
Yeah, he's like dragged all these fucking super dead wolves.
Yeah.
And they are like not. Most of the meat is salvageable, but these have been like fucked over with an axe. Like it's not the prettiest.
A couple of
kills.
them are probably
But
probably not the
point
best
is
cuts.
It's kills. That's the point. Yeah, and so you all could probably
Wolf jerky, anyone?
skin, cut, and cook some wolf over the now dilapidated campfire that you could easily restart with a little bit of flair.
yeah. I mean, I have a cooking kit.
Lance
Mess
and
kit.
keep it
You have a
preserve
cooking
me. Christ almighty.
So I walk up to the carcass of the wolves, and I kind of slap Trovic on the shoulder and just say, "Good work, big man."
I love Kelma. It's so fun.
Trovic will probably wince a little bit because he is at half health.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
But you survive.
Fishing with a
And
rocket
you
launcher.
take
Yes.
it with you. And Kelma begins the process of preparing and starting to cook with his cooking utensils and things. Pretty well done, pretty good. Not well done, but pretty well made meal of wolf flank, and you could probably prepare, keep, and increase the ration numbers you have by a good plenty if you were to take all this meat and things and properly prepare it.
I will take 4 days of rations.
Probably take about an extra hour or so to clean, cook, and prepare, but you guys have the day, you know.
Well, I
so-
figure we're probably doing like a short rest to let
Rations.
Trovic heal
Yeah,
up.
I mean, you definitely could for sure. While you're cooking and stuff, if Trovic wanted to sit and take a short rest, he could heal up with hit dice.
Okay. I can-
So,
Culture.
So how many rations can we add?
I'll say if you're splitting them among the group, I would say 2, 4, 5, 6. I would say about 10 rations. So let's say 2 apiece. And this would be after like cooking the meals for yourselves, if that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we keep 2
So-
rations. We add 2 rations.
You add 2 rations apiece. Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand one of those rations over to Osgood. So
I
we've got 3.
pass it back over. I'm like, I don't need
No,
it.
I'm saying like after you have enough to consume for whatever you're eating now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one
No,
thing,
yeah,
and then
even
you get
then,
another
it's
2.
like-
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Just want to make sure people are aware that like
Alright.
you're still plussing 2 to your rations
I
as
know.
well as having food for now.
Getting wrong with the buttons.
Alright. Rations 1 day, add. Cool.
Yep.
So many
Now
rations.
3 days.
Jesus, man.
have-
What the fuck?
How many days of rations?
Probably a lot.
3.
3. That's not much. No, you're taking that other ration
Yeah.
because I have 10.
You have 10?
Yeah.
That's more than
And
I have.
as
I have.
you-
With the 2 added, I have 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, you can have my rations because I have 12 right now.
Oh wow. Okay. Like I think I
the
have
group has
4.
been hoarding some rations, and some people have not been hoarding some rations. But
I started with a single ration.
oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
no, me too. I started with a single ration as well.
I started with 10.
Wow.
Yeah, because your kit's allowed you to have them.
Yep.
But anyway, so
It's
you
not
all
letting me add the
cook
rations.
and clean and do.
If you click on the ration, it
Yeah.
is like a quantity. Just click the plus.
Yeah, I know I did the plus, but when I leave it, it still says I have 1 day ration.
Yeah, no, it's rations
You have a count
1
number.
day.
Oh,
Each
okay.
ration is for 1 day.
Okay. I thought it would say
Yep.
like 4 days, 5 days, or whatever.
No.
No.
You're right.
quite.
But you all do clean and carcass the wolves for the most part, as Kelma prepares food and kind of doles it out to everybody. You all
Can
are
I
sitting
take some of the
around.
bones?
What's that?
Can I take some of the bones?
Sure.
All right, I'll
I
take.
mean,
a
I would
few.
say, Kelma, make me a survival check with advantage to see how clean you get the meat off the bones. I would say, it's like skinning and cutting and cleaning would
16
probably be your
and-
thing.
Oops, hold on. I gotta get rid of that die. 20.
Yeah.
I'll take the 20.
So, Kelma has pretty much gotten as much meat off the bones as he can. It's not hard for you to
Yeah.
take. I'd say, I'd say probably about 9 or 10 intact bones of these wolves from
Okay.
parts that aren't
I mean,
collapsed or broken by the great axe or the process of skinning them.
I'm gonna take about 6 bones, and I have ideas for that, but it's mostly just I can carve these into arrow shafts
Okay,
at the
fair
moment.
enough. Sounds good.
I can't add custom items.
And so yeah, so
I'll do that later.
Trovik, for your health, if you want to roll hit dice.
Yeah, how's that
you
work?
have-
I get 3 barb and
You
1
have-
fighter.
Did you take a level in fighter instead of barb?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so basically the fighter hit dice is a D10, and the barb hit dice is a D12. So you can roll as many or as few of those as you want to. You have 1 D10 and 3
Hang
D12
on.
to roll.
Did he just? So did he? You picked that up for this level. Wicked.
For my 4th level, I did 1 level in fighter. Yeah.
So he should have rolled a D10 at the start rather than a D12.
I mean, he rolled a
Good
9,
stuff.
right? So it's fine.
Okay.
Still under the line. I'm not gonna make that on a reroll. That's fine. But I get you.
Oh,
Okay.
so that's for every level. Okay, so it's
Mhm.
dependent on which level
Which
you
class
put
you
it
take.
into.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you took barbarian 4. That's my fault. Which is fine.
no problem.
I didn't look at that. That's me as the DM. But yeah, I'll leave that lie for now because you didn't roll higher than a 10, so I'll just call it that. But yeah, so you can roll those as necessary. So you gain back. What would get you to max? Because you need 25 to get to max, right?
Yeah, basically
So I
made
would say
that.
the 4th one you didn't need to roll. So
Right.
you would still have your D10 left to be able to roll if you take another short rest or something like that.
Oh,
So you
okay.
use
I
it
get how
to-
it works now.
So you don't have to get to max. You can just if you just want to roll 1 and that's enough for you, that's fine. But you can roll up to the 4 that you have. You just expend them for the day. You get them back
Okay, so
after a long
so
rest.
if I needed to take another short rest today,
you would
before
only have
my long
1
rest,
D10 left.
I'd only have the okay. I got you.
Right. Yep. That's hit dice in a nutshell. Okay. So, as everybody has licked their wounds, cleaned their plates, and basically straightened up, a certain amount of pride comes towards Trovik from Kelma, and a bit more respect. You all are on the path. The direction you were headed originally was the direction that the procession of ghosts followed and walked up the trail, as well as the same direction that Kelma saw a glowing blue light from the distance on the left-hand side of the trail. Oh, nice. The music reloops. That's fun. Why did the music reloop?
I was like, wait a minute.
It's like,
Everybody roll initiative. Oh god.
I mean, you don't know. But yeah. So, the day is yours. It's probably about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning at this point. I'd say probably 10 o'clock.
yeah.
Because y'all probably woke up at dawnish. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
Alright.
Also, are we playing till 6:30 or 7? I want to know that now before.
What do you guys want?
It's up to you
Dunno.
guys. I know some people have to make dinner and stuff, so I don't want to push family time over.
I was gonna say I would
We can
I
do
always
6:30.
like that natural stopping point, but I would
Mm.
prefer 6:30.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll find a way to wind it down to that. Okay,
Yep.
so
Whatever feels good.
that's fine. So you guys are at your campfire with the path in front of you. What would you like to do?
Shall we get moving?
Yeah, we should probably get going.
The road to Valaki is a long one. I'd recommend. Well, keep an eye out. He
Okay.
sort of hoists his bag up over his shoulder and sort of puts his anchor up off the ground, tying it over around one shoulder like a makeshift sash, almost of rope.
Mhm.
Starts wandering.
That's good. All right, so all of you off. I need a marching order, please.
I'll stick to the middle.
I'd like to have the big guy in front who just took out like 8 wolves.
I'll stick to the back.
Somebody just texted me.
We're going that way, right?
That way.
That way.
Yeah, up the path that way. Yep. That way. Alright, so Kelma, where are you posting it?
I guess I
Trevor,
come.
you in the front, in the middle, or the back? Where you? Sorry, I
Yeah.
apologize. I did the thing. I moved you.
No problem. I'm usually behind Kelma.
Cool.
The two warrior guys just kind of leading the way.
No perception.
Alright.
I mean,
So
yeah.
I'll make note of that. That way we got everybody cool. Okay, so you guys kind of continue winding up the path. You get a little ways up, and you see now on the left-hand side of you what appears to be a small, like you're winding up the mountain still, and you're still hanging to the cliff edge on the right-hand side. But on the left-hand side, a little bit of a ways off of the road, just maybe about 30, 40 feet or so, kind of in a little bit of area of trees, you all see what appear to be the structures of ruined buildings. And I need Kelma and, well, actually everybody can make a perception check for me, because you all would be walking by it and looking at it
Eyes of the eagle.
on the left side. Eyes of the eagle.
I have
Indeed.
advantage.
Oh my god, you got better than 7.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, and I got
That's karma
Perception
for you, bitch.
Advantage. Let's see, 16 and 20.
So you all are looking over at these ruins, and they seem to be like half parts of buildings, no more than 5, some places 10 feet high. It's just like the remnants of like what appear to be destroyed and ruined buildings for the most part. Seems to be like what was a small collection of houses, probably about 8 or 10 on the side of the road. You can see, because not the entirety of all the frames are there, but I need to pull up this so that way I just have a point of visual for you guys, because I'm a visual people.
Wow. People.
I mean, I am. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. And with your Ridicuvision,
Thank you very much.
Eagle Eye Man,
God bless the DM.
because I would say, oh no, that's not good at all. I need to. I'll move you guys here so everybody's got a thing. Y'all are further down the road than this, of course, but this is because I don't have the road drawn out. All this same shit. Y'all are this direction. Y'all are walking this way, right? So, group path, all the stuff you were doing. Who got high? Branwyn and Osgood. Kelma, you notice these ruins, and this seems to be about the distance of where that thing sunk back into the ground. Branwyn and Osgood, you notice inside of one of the ruins what appears to be an opening in the ground of sorts, almost at a distance slightly below the path that you're on, so you could kind of look down into it. And from a distance, you can almost see a staircase that descends into the earth.
All right. What do you say? Worth exploring.
Can I look at the map? Is there anything on that this might be on the map?
Can certainly take a look at the map. And I will pull up the map on my end because I don't have the map readily available because I'm a bad GM. So, let's look at the map together, shall we? So, you have, if you look from the stair pool, right?
Mhm.
You've come down this wiggly path back to the crossroads, the 3 intersection, and then the bottom thing, and around that bend, around the upper bend, and back down the bendy thing.
Yeah.
And so basically, where that hill is on the map, right below the word Stair Falls,
Yeah.
is about where you all are passing by now. You camped
Okay.
about down by the bottom bend near that forest, and you've now proceeded up, and you see this hill there. The Stair Falls is referring to the waterfalls that are further ahead up on the map. And by that little stone bridge, if you can zoom in and look at that. But at least that's what the map shows. So basically the map shows a hill in this area, but it doesn't show
Okay.
reference to any buildings or anything like that. What would you all like to do?
I'm going.
Oh, robot chi.
Oh.
Stop.
Robot Chi.
I'm going stealth.
Okay.
Oh god. Okay. If I
Stealth
see
check?
him stealthing, I'm stealthing with him.
Where are you
I'll
stealthing?
sort of duck down. And I'm gonna move over.
Make stealth checks and then move yourselves.
Oh man. Not even
God,
good.
why am I stealthing with him?
I don't know. Why are you stealthing with him? The old man
Because-
thinks he's well hidden.
Because he's an idiot.
And you
I
sneak
disappear.
behind a tree and
He's-
disappear.
Less
So,
stealthing,
where are
and
you
more
going,
like
Viva?
ducking against the tree
I mean,
using it as cover.
where are you going?
Where are you going, Chi, is the question.
Heading over to those ruins.
Like, go. Put
Like
yourself
up
where you
here?
are, because
Move
I'm
yourself.
stealthing
Yeah.
behind you.
I'd
Move
probably.
yourself,
It's
not
probably
cover.
less that I'm stealthing and more that I'm using the trees as cover at this point because I don't really know how best to stealth.
Yeah, but you think you're stealthed.
Yeah.
You
Does
think
does
you're
does,
stealthing?
does Kelmon notice that these two are just wandered off?
I would say you noticed that Osgood has wandered off. Branwyn has kind of disappeared in the trees.
I just turn around and just go, what's going on?
Shh. Interesting ruin. Pistol up.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which could
He
be the
has
death
this
of the entire
goofy
party
grin
with the
on
wobble
his
dinger
face.
situation.
Mhm.
And he says, I recognize that that's around where the guy disappeared from, right?
Yeah.
I just kind of say bluntly, I'm like I'm not stealthing or anything because I'm just watching this idiot. God, I don't know what Gwen went, but I'm watching this
I would
idiot.
say you notice that the thing kind of disappeared more in this region that I'm pinging over here,
Okay.
Yeah.
but this ruins entrance seems to be
There's
something
an
that
interesting
they've
hole in the ground, and I want to look at it.
So I know what that thing was, right? Because I investigated it last time, and it's clearly like a mass of dead bodies put together by some kind of necromancer.
right.
Oh.
So clearly,
Oh.
clearly there's some power here. And there's either someone with some power here or some creature with necromantic powers.
I would say you could discern that. Yes.
Yes.
Oh god. Okay.
You're sneaking up to the
Follow
hole.
old man. I'm following the old man to make sure he is back up. So we're
I'm
Okay.
making my way up against the wall at least, using that as cover and looking over into the hole.
Kelmo's just like
Okay,
watching them. Kelmo's not even. He's like leaning against a tree watching these two idiots.
Hey, you can't
can't
even
see
see
her,
me. I
I
don't
guess.
exist.
Oh yeah, I can't say. I'm just watching the idiot.
She's like hiding
Yeah.
behind this tree, like I'm a tree.
Yeah.
You kind of slink up the wall and kind of look down, and from down in, it's very hard to see. Like as you look down in, you don't have dark vision, right?
Hard to see, eh? I don't think I do, but I think that I can make mutagens that do. Let me check something.
So looking down into this hole, you see the staircase that descends about 15 feet or so, and then seems to go off into a tunnel. And the tunnel seems pretty dark. Like it's kind of hard to see more than probably about 10 feet into the tunnel, even if you like lean down and like get on your hands and knees and look down.
Do I have? I am going to. I'm gonna take out a flask of oil, look at it for a moment, be like, "No, not in this situation." Put it away. Take out a torch, strike it against something hard so that it lights, and then I'm gonna chuck it down into the hole.
Okay. So as you chuck a torch down into the staircase,
I'm not actually going towards the staircase, I should mention. I'm just being cautious, making sure that I have light down there so I can see what the fuck's down there.
so what you see illuminated is a bit of tunnel that continues off underground, and at about, I'd say 15 or 20 feet or so, you lose vision of any like bendy light, like if that makes sense. Like the staircase goes down and then it's like covering. So unless you were to walk over to the stairs and look down and go down in, you wouldn't see further than like a short distance in.
He sort of winces. He looks visibly uncomfortable and sort of glances back at
Can
the
I
rest.
slide up next to him and look to see what I see? Because I have dark vision.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more so the angle of this. Like, the problem is the light would illuminate further. It's just like the angle of the staircase.
What he's doing. I'm gonna go look.
Yeah.
You just
sort of
see
follow
me
after
appear
her.
from nowhere and pass you, and then
Yeah.
Okay, so what you see
He nods.
down there is, it's a fairly decent sized tunnel. It's a little bit wide. And you look down it, let's see, let me do a measure thing because I need to figure things out. So you would see down about, you could estimate about 30-40 feet. The tunnel takes a small curve to the left, and then you lose vision because the stone tunnel curves a little bit.
What do you reckon with exploring?
Make a perception check for me, both of you, as you are now at the mouth of this thing.
Perception. I have advantage to perception to spot things. Does this count in that situation?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I did the wrong thing. I moved everybody, and I didn't mean to move everybody.
That's fine.
I have a black screen.
Apologies. So you should now be normal, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You had a black screen because you don't exist.
Boop boop.
Or
Advantage
I
to
don't
line of
exist,
sight
or
related
something doesn't
perception.
exist. I'm sorry for everybody who saw
Okay.
a sneak peek of shit. Sorry. So
oh, I rolled
16
my
and
roll.
20.
Hang on, that's not my roll. That's not my roll.
what's your roll?
Ignore me. I was looking at something. I was looking up if Castle Strahd had dark vision.
Oh no, you don't.
No, they do not.
That is your roll. There you go.
That is, and it's worse.
So
That's 20.
is that advantage or disadvantage? It's advantage. Okay.
Advantage because of sight, but it's not sight related. That is 16.
What?
So it's 16. Okay.
Yep.
You don't necessarily hear anything from the opening itself. If you like listen really hard, you hear the faint sound of a voice here and a voice there, but it's very quiet and almost muted. It almost seems like sound is reflecting off these walls in some way, shape, or form. But you don't hear anything other than maybe like what sounds to you like a
couple
whisper.
of snatches of voice. Yeah, okay. It looks at Bradman and sort of raises an eyebrow. He's like, someone's talking, but can't exactly make out what it is. Think it's worth it? If it's one of those things that you saw from before, might be worth having a look. Could be some good shit in there.
Gaynor,
I
you
don't
step
remember
behind
if
me.
anybody actually actively
Oh yeah, they
mentioned
snuck
the
up and
blue
nothing
light,
happened. So I
but
just walked up.
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna make a perception check of the rest of the area. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, because of these guys, I'm not going towards that pit. I want to climb up to like the highest tree close by, and just kind of scope out where that other thing was.
Make an acrobatics check, and then make a perception check. Okay. So while y'all are having your conversation,
God
Kelma
damn it.
goes over and begins to climb a tree.
Ain't here for
Begins
it.
is the key.
Begins to climb a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder for you to find purchase, and this tree's got a lot of taller branches, but not a lot of lower branches to go off of. You could probably gently your way up like a quarter of the tree's trunk, and then maybe grab a branch, but I don't know if you could pull yourself up with that check.
Sprinty boy.
But if you make a perception check looking around you in the region, you might be able to figure something out. The tree's just like, as soon as you grab onto the branch, it snaps. And
It's
like,
perception. Of course, it's going to be low.
You just know that the thing sunk into the ground somewhere around this area. You're not quite sure where. Okay.
Kelma, you are going to hear in your head. Voice is down this way. Very obviously my voice. And then he just sort of nods and his head towards the cavern.
So, Kelma, as a voice pierces your head, you hear the voice of Osgood in your head telling you this.
Be relayed to the rest of the party.
I walk up
I
between
can do this from like 90 feet.
to them, and I look at Trovik, and I'm like, I don't know what the purpose of this is. What do you think?
I think I'm getting too old for this.
I'm young, and I'm too old for this.
I'm 73 and I'm doing this. Young people these days.
And I kind of go to Osgood, and I just kind of yell out, I'm like, if we run into danger there, and he points to the one.
Oh, we're going to run into danger. It's just a matter of whether or not we can kick its ass.
And he keeps on pointing. He says, how far to our destination? If you want to come back, we know where it is.
I'm not entirely sure. How far is it to our destination?
It's at least another 2 days travel.
2 days at
Like
minimum.
you're going over. You remember that you came over a large stone bridge over a chasm, and then you wound through the mountains themselves, and then passed by. In reverse order, I'm telling you. Basically,
Yeah.
from Valaki, you went down a winding road that took you about a day's travel or so. You had a gate in front of you that you had to pass through. That wound through the mountains and then across a stone bridge, and then you came around the bend and ran into the flap giant. So
I really
2
is
days
much.
at most, or 2.5, 3 days. But you couldn't possibly know exactly where you're at based on that because you didn't have a map coming. So
All right.
I relay the information at minimum, and I also say, if we do end up abandoning this, how likely is it that in a week we're never going to see it again?
At this point, Kelma is just frustrated, so he just kind of walks to the face of the thing and says, if we're going to die, let's do it now.
All right. And he grins. Cool. Good. Yep, that works.
Would you? I'm gonna stop him. Just like, let me go first.
Fine. After you.
Come on, just
I said I'm stopping Kelmar.
Yeah.
I'm stopping Kelmar.
Kelma just
that's
grumbles.
fine.
Like, he's obviously not for this plan whatsoever, but up to this point, he's just like, whatever.
Cool.
all right. And as you descend into this cavern, you
Stealthily.
all go. Irina following you. I will do
Jeez,
this.
I forgot about Irina.
No!
Oh my god!
I was the only one thinking about Arena. I was like pointing at her, like, what are we gonna do?
Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
Idiots.
So it
That's
was
what we are.
Kelma first.
You're such idiots.
No,
No.
I'm first. I'm
You're
first.
first. All right. Set yourselves right because
Oh,
I just
God.
placed you in a place. Brand first. Trovik was toward the back. Kel was second. Osgood third.
I was fourth.
Fourth. Fifth and sixth. So you are all here. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Cool.
Beauty.
As you walk into this dark, decrepit, just lit by one small torch in the floor.
This
And
is a
actually,
great.
I
This
will
is a
put
great
torch
idea.
there real quick.
This is a great idea. I didn't think of this.
I will put torch on the map real quick before we stop because torch is life, torch is love. So torch has fallen into the floor, and of course torch is going to have light, and everybody can see light. So this is where we're gonna stop.
Cool.
I hope to God I set this page back properly. Otherwise, y'all just saw a lot of shit you weren't supposed to see.
No,
So.
I
no,
mean,
I didn't see
yeah, I
anything.
can see.
I
like,
could see
full
the
white.
the entrance and where we're
There you
at.
go. Okay.
I can
so
see
it's that
nothing.
way.